early games actually have had consequences for Manchester United and Rangers, because they started the day in 7th and 8th as we are underway, but both have now dropped out of the top 8, which guarantees a straight passage through to the last 16 in the knockout stages of this Europa League. So it means that Manchester United are 10th and Rangers are 13th, so whilst they're still good for the playoffs, they want that automatic qualification. Manchester United in their red shirts are playing from left to right as we look, as Yilmaz will play the ball in field, and there was Dalot just to knock it up towards Garnacho, but the ball after the bounce just sort of like span back a little bit, but Garnacho now is in full control, running in from the left. Bruno Fernandes cuts the ball back out. Dalot has stayed out wide, level with the penalty area, and Dalot faced up by Barron, who was started as a regular for Rangers, but more recently as a substitute. They're missing Diomande through suspension in the centre of midfield, and in fact it'll be a Rangers throw over on that far side. Paul. Yeah,
they've started well. Manchester United pressed high, one possession, got some good controlled possession. It really is going to be two teams going at it. The way that Philip Clement spoke before this game, that they were coming here to attack Manchester United, we're certainly not going to see two teams not wanting to lose. We're going to see two teams trying to win this game.
Yoro out to Ahmed on this near side. He'll play the ball back to Yoro. Collier wants it shortened in midfield, but it goes back to Ahmed. He did have that very frustrating time at Rangers, 13 appearances on loan, just the 3 goals. He was an unused substitute when they were runners-up in the Europa League in 2022 was Amad Diallo, and part of the League Cup success when they beat Hearts that particular year as well. But he was a little lightweight, and there was one particular instance when they played Celtic and he shirked out of a challenge, and he got quite a lot of a grief for such a response from some of the Rangers supporters. But I'm sure that experience still added to his resilience as part of his development, and he's certainly prospered this season for Manchester United as he makes his way forward. But instead United attack on that far side, the left, and the shot comes in from Garnacho, and it was gathered in by Jack Butland quite comfortably in his all-lemon yellow goalkeeping outfit.
And that's the wing play that we spoke about before. Garnacho immediately hugging that left-hand touchline. He's playing in that role, the number 10 role if you like, behind Xerxes, but he's given that freedom to go out onto the left-hand side. So often do we see Bruno Fernandes there, but it looks tonight Bruno Fernandes is going to be the one that sits a little bit deeper. It's Christian Eriksen, the one out of the two that's higher up in behind Xerxes, but Garnacho is clearly on that left-hand side, and he's going to be allowed to roam free and go as wide as he wants to.
Jefty waits to take the throw for Rangers on this near side. It's a soft one down the line, off the head of Yilmaz, went to ground far too easily. The Belgian referee, Eric Lambrechts, is having none of that, but Rangers have won it back. That was good play by Raskan. Combative midfielder, does love a tackle, and broke up the play. Dalot prevented it from reaching Cherney over on that far side. And here is Collier, big night for the young midfielder. They have made 5 changes from the team that lost to Brighton at the weekend. Manchester United, they travel to Fulham this coming Sunday. Can't help but feel that with this being the home game, the onus is still on Manchester United.
Yeah, absolutely is. They'll have the lion's share of possession, but like we said about Rangers in Europe, you don't know what Rangers is going to turn up. They've been inconsistent in the league. They've won the last 2 games. Disappointing after the big win against Celtic to pick up 2 draws. Just interesting looking at Manchester United now. They definitely have lined up with Bruno Fernandes in a deeper role alongside Collier. It's Eriksen and Garnacho that are the ones that allowed freedom.
And here is Garnacho coming forward and running at pace, enters the penalty area, tries to cut the ball back. Sliding Balogun got the ball away for Rangers, and it will be a Rangers throw as Bruno Fernandes was quick to close down James Tavernier, who is the longest serving right back and captain for the club, the 33-year-old Bradford-born James Tavernier, a Yorkshireman, the highest scoring defender in British football, an incredible 128 goals in 491 appearances. That's some record.
And I think his assists as well. His assists are up there as well, aren't they? It's an incredible scoring record from a defender. I think it just shows the attributes that he has. Been in and out the side a little bit this season, but now back in a firm fixture.
Ahmad on this near side, faced up by Jefty. Yilmaz will come and double up on him. They'll try and double down will Rangers on this near side, the right for Manchester United. Ahmad's ball inside, Fernandes chips it to him, Jefty with a downward header, Yilmaz can't get there, picked up instead by Eriksson for Manchester United, cross comes in, Balogun will clear it away. Not walking too freely at the moment is Liam Balogun, the very experienced 36-year-old Nigerian international defender, back in his second spell at the club. Wasn't just wincing a little bit as he got the ball away. It'll be a throw to Rangers, 0-0.
It was that challenge on the far side. Balogun tracked Garnacho stride for stride, slid in, just maybe overstretched, as you say, not moving the most comfortably at the moment.
Here is De Ligt, back to Martinez. The bald-headed Philippe Clement is out getting his instructions across. He'll be hoping for a better fortune than when he did when he was the Bruges manager. Lost 5-0 here in what was a 6-1 aggregate defeat 4 years ago. Philippe Clement, who is very much under pressure. Pressure never too far away when you're managing either of the old firm. Here is Ahmad, gets away from Jefty, but Jefty recovers back goal side. Ahmad, though, still running on his toes. Again, they double up on him, with Yilmaz helping out. Back it goes to Eriksson, low ball in. Zirkzee couldn't get there. Barron releases Czerny. Now he's always a threat, and Czerny is running forward with pace over the halfway line. Egan is the only player who's up with him. He waits for the support. It was looking for the run out by Barami, and he just couldn't get it to him, and Manchester United squeezed out that opportunity, 0-0.
You can see why he's been such a big threat this season. Czerny on that right-hand side, on loan from Wolfsburg. There's talk that Rangers want to try and buy him. Have they got the finances to be able to do so? That's the next question. But his goals, his assists that he's contributed in the league, 3 goals in the Europa League this season, he's a real threat, and that's, if Rangers are going to sit deep and absorb pressure, players like him on the break are going to be key to them.
He's been Rangers one of their best players this season. 12 goals in his 33 appearances, 0-0, 7 minutes played, 5 live and BBC Sounds for a third night of successive European football on the good old wireless as the ball runs out of play and it goes out for a goal kick that Butland will take. 18 unused substitute appearances during his loan spell here a couple of years ago, including on the bench for the FA Cup final when they lost to Manchester City, as Jack Butland, who's certainly done well, coming back into the side after missing the last 6 with a heel injury, and only recently has celebrated the birth of his 4th child. So he's Jack Butland back in the team for Rangers. His ball flat downfield. Igerman gets away from De Ligt, who tried holding him back. Igerman then, as he was running at pace, tried to play it and drilled it towards Yilmaz, but it was behind the Turkish international, and it goes out for a throw. Still goalless.
It was unlucky by Igerman. It was a lovely ball by Jack Butland. You can see what they're trying to do, Rangers. They set up and Jack Butland drills it chest height all the way, halfway up the pitch to Igerman, shows his strength, holds off De Ligt. Just a poor final ball from him.
Belgian referee has given a free kick to Manchester United for a foul on Zirkzee. Ahmad takes it back then to Yoro. De Ligt, who is the central figure of that back 3. Martinez, one of the 5 changes, running forward over the halfway line, and then plays it towards Dalot. Dalot now can run forward. Garnacho's going on ahead of him, cut out by Tavernier, who's able to clear that ball on the run. Cushion header then by Barami. It was aimed towards Czerny, and then Fernandes, as Paul Robinson quite rightly has pointed out, playing in that deeper role, collects it on the Manchester United left, that far side, and knocks it all the way back to Altay Bayindir, who making only his 5th appearance of the season instead of Onana, after his mistake, of course, against Brighton at the weekend. Collier caught in possession. Igerman collects it, sidesteps, plays the ball forward. Opportunity. Raskan couldn't take it, and then the chip from Yilmaz. He just couldn't keep his feet. Couldn't Nikola Raskan as he made that way in towards the penalty area. And the Manchester United defence at 6s and 7s, and he just stumbled at the wrong moment.
It was Collier who lost possession of the ball, and the turnover of possession. Rangers was so quick. Little interchange of passing. Ingerman and Raskan found himself one-on-one with Bayindir. Bayindir found himself in no man's land. Actually gets really lucky, the goalkeeper. He stands up, and Raskan tries to go around him but gets it wrong. Goalkeeper may have got the slightest of touches on it, but he's out of position. It's a decent save by Bayindir, but he does get lucky. But a warning sign for Manchester United. Really good quick turnover from Rangers.
Very much so. He actually hasn't scored since October 2023. and just couldn't keep his balance or indeed his composure as he entered the penalty area. 10 minutes in, 0-0. Another 8 o'clock kick-off is our featured game in League One. Wrexham Birmingham. Sarah O'Carroll.
The racecourse is bouncing because it's Wrexham 1, Birmingham 0. Ollie Rathbone capitalising on a Birmingham defensive error, ran through the middle and fired it home. It's Wrexham 1, Birmingham 0.
Phil Parkinson's side unbeaten at home, and if it was to stay like that, they would move to within 2 points of Birmingham at the top of League One. We'll keep you fully in touch with that key game as Rangers win the ball with Tavernier, floats it forward. Yilmaz on the volley, beaten out by Bayinda. It was around head height and he pushed it away from one Turkish international to another as Igerman has a shot, and that took a deflection and he saved. Lovely ball floated through by Tavernier, and Bayinda kept it out.
No, you can see why Tavernier's got so many goals and assists to his name. It's a lovely ball by the Rangers fullback, flighted to the far post. Yilmaz completely unmarked, 12 yards out on the angle, catches it sweetly on the side foot, but it's straight at Bayinda. Another opportunity for Rangers. They've certainly not come here tonight to sit deep and shut up shop. They've had the best 2 opportunities of the game so far.
Well, Tavernier said they wouldn't park the bus. You heard what Tom English was saying about his conversation when he had that sit down with Philippe Clement last week. You know, they didn't want to have that role of the underdogs, and they've certainly had 2 very bright openings as the ball goes out of play, and they can only grow in confidence from that. Still 0-0.
Yeah, absolutely. They will have the impression that they're underdogs coming to Manchester United. You come to Old Trafford, to such an imposing stadium, but actually the way that you grow into the game, and Rangers have grown into the game, they absorbed a little bit of pressure early on, but as you say, 20 minutes in, that's the first milestone reached for them. You get to 20 minutes with a clean sheet, but not only with a clean sheet, so 10 minutes with a clean sheet, but actually you've got the opportunities, you've had the best opportunity of the game yourself. You become more expansive, you go forward, you create more chances, and like you say, you do grow in confidence.
Lazio lead Real Sociedad by a 0 elsewhere. Lazio actually sit top of the Europa League, and that would actually confirm that they would finish in the top 2, and it's a little bit like the Champions League. That would mean that, say for instance, they would avoid Athletic Bilbao until they got to the final, so that's the incentive of finishing in the top 2. It's the same format as the Champions League, which incidentally next Wednesday on BBC Radio 5 Live and the BBC Sounds app, all the games being played on one night. Manchester City Bruges will be our commentary on 5 Live. Aston Villa Celtic will start on Sports Extra. 13 minutes played here in the Europa League. Ruben Amorim has been crouching down in that tiny technical area, watching on. But it's been a good start by Rangers.
These tables have caused you boys some problems, haven't they? You, John and ABB. When I'm listening to you on nights on the Champions League, nights on the Europa League, and obviously sitting next to you know what goes on with these computers and the video printers that's going on. That league table, how many times it changes? It's not been your friend, has it?
Well, to be fair, I've got a little bit more experience in the fact that on a Saturday I'm used to working the computer. I'm not saying I work it very well, but at least I can work it a little bit. But next Wednesday, thankfully, will hopefully be quite straightforward. Shouldn't be too arduous, he says. But 0-0. 13 minutes played. Martinez looks for a ball over the top, looks for the run of Dallo. He'll get there before Tavernier. Plays it back instantly to Garnacho, enters the penalty area, cuts it back out towards Dallo. Manchester United, though, don't deliver the ball. First signs of a little bit of frustration from the Manchester United supporters there. There was just murmurs as Ahmad, I thought he maybe had been pulled back by GFT. He stopped running. He complains to the assistant referee, but he didn't play to the whistle, and he was willing to stop immediately.
I don't think there's a lot in that, Ian. I really don't. I thought the ball was played into him. Yes, I think Jefta did put his arms around him. Not a lot of contact, but I'm all for that referee. Play on. You know, players don't referee the game, and quite often do we see players stop in those situations and almost referee the game themselves, stop the game and make the referee give him a free kick. Referee stayed strong.
Collier's ball forward. He's appealing for a corner kick, and he'll get it. Last touch off a blue shirt. The Rangers supporters in that corner away towards our right. The section on the front, I don't know, 3-4 rows haven't stopped bouncing up and down since the first whistle was blown, and incessant chanting from that quadrant to our right, which is in fact where Ahmad, who is being booed and jeered by the travelling support, is going to take a corner kick for Manchester United. 0-0. Ahmad, left-footed, crowded area, good header away, under pressure by Balogun, and it will go out of play for a Manchester United throw as he goes down that gentle slope here at Old Trafford and waits to take the throw. Still goalless.
Yeah, good strong header by Balogun. A well-worked set play by Manchester United. Group of red shirts bulked at the far post, all made their way to the near post, right underneath Jack Butland's crossbar. Well defended.
Ahmad trying to get past Bahrami to Collier. Ball in was cleared by Tavernier, only as far as Dallo. Stab forward to Garnacho, left-hand side of the penalty area. Enters the box, curling effort, always going over the top, right-footed. Goal kick, 0-0, Paul Robinson.
Does look sharp though, Garnacho, doesn't he? Playing in that role in behind Xerxes on the left-hand side. But Ruben Amorim clearly knows that he's better off, more effective in that wide position. He plays narrow, but when they're in possession, he does get wide, and there's another opportunity for him. Comes off the touchline, cuts inside, seen him with his right foot, quite often bend those into the top right-hand corner, hit the target, went over the bar that time harmlessly.
His last goal was actually in this competition against Bodo Glimt at the end of November. He's gone 12 games since without a goal. Has Garnacho for Manchester United as the ball goes back to Bayinda, plays it to Yoro, collects it, right-hand side of the penalty area. Right-footed ball is a long one, up towards Joshua Xerxes, bounces off his chest. Again, he was holding the ball up and drops to his knees and gets a free kick for his efforts. And in fact, Robin Pröper, who is the brother of Davy, formerly of Brighton and Hove Albion, is just getting a talking to from the Belgian referee.
I think that was more for his back chat and frustration about the free kick being given rather than the challenge. It was just two players coming together, had his arm around Xerxes, pulls him back. He's strong as Xerxes when the ball comes up to him, holds it up. There's no way that Pröper could get round him.
Here is Martinez inside the centre circle. That's the voice of Paul Robinson, the former England international goalkeeper, who's with us here on BBC Radio 5 Live, as well as the BBC Sounds app. And we've been playing for 17 minutes, and Manchester United are yet to test Jack Butland in the Rangers' goal away towards our right-hand side. Martinez will run forward along the ground. Eriksson is able to turn and quickly passes the ball forward on the diagonal out towards Ahmad, able to run into the Rangers penalty area, right-hand side, but again they were quick to double up on him, and the block came in, and Ahmad will let it go out of play for a throw right down by the corner flag. Takes it quickly to Yoro, who just shuffles the ball away from Yilmaz, who gets the block in. Jefty is there as well, the Brazilian defender, closed down by Eriksson, goes up in the air. Yoro keeps it in play. Manchester United have done well there. It was just an outstretched leg. Here is Fernandez, shapes to shoot, and it was always going off target. Always going away from goal off his left foot, wide of that left-hand post, 0-0 still.
And from distance again. I think that's the thing that Rangers, you can see when they are defending, they're holding quite a high line, they're pushing the Manchester United forward line back and back, and the efforts that have been on Jack Butland's goal that have gone high and wide have come from a distance. The two from Garnacho, the one there on the left foot of Fernandez, all from a distance and not troubling Jack Butland.
Butland plays it out. Pröper goes to Jefty on this near side, up the left-hand line. Bahrami couldn't hang on to it, they've lost it. Manchester United now with Ahmad to Collier. Collier leans into the challenge from Bahrami, who tracks him back towards the halfway line, and Yoro will go all the way back to Bayinda. Tony Livesey will be on 5 Live at 10 o'clock tonight, late night Livesey, which reminds me that I mustn't forget Floodlit's Fact of the Day, as I appeared in a car park close to Anfield on Tuesday night after Liverpool against Lille, and Rangers formed in 1872, and who knew that they were formed after an English rugby team, but it wasn't one from Dunstable, it wasn't one from Northampton, it was one from Swindon Rangers. So the four gentlemen who helped form Rangers took full advantage of that, and Tony took full advantage of Rangers commentary to slip in a Scottish Floodlit Fact of the Day.
And you were in a dark car park in Anfield?
I was.
In midweek?
Yes.
More worried about that than the facts that you're coming out with.
Let's go to Wrexham. There's been another goal, Sarah.
And it's now 1-1, Wrexham 1, Birmingham 1. A header from Lyndon Dykes from a corner did take a touch from the Wrexham player Elliot Lee as he tried to stop it going in. So it's Wrexham 1, Birmingham 1.
Thank you, Sarah. 1-1 there. Birmingham looking to extend their long and beaten run in League One, as Xerxes' cross is easily cut out by Pröper, and it'll be away by Tavernier up towards Ingham. They're unbeaten in 14 actually, are the League One league leaders, as the ball goes back to Bayinda. It was either that or stop on at a service station.
Which, to be fair, we are partial to, don't we, Dunno? We are partial to a service station stop every now and then.
Only every now and again. 20 minutes played, and it's goalless on 5 Live.
Been a good start, though, hasn't it, by both teams? I think both managers will be reasonably pleased with what they've seen, from what they've got from their teams. Manchester United having the dominance of possession, but Rangers on the turnover have been very quick.
Here is Xerxes, midway through the Rangers half. Back to Martinez. His ball cut out by Cherney, able to come forward now, and he looks for Igerman, who's made that run over the halfway line. Barami is with him, little ball inside. Plays it back to Igerman, and now coming forward is Barron, this diminutive figure. As the ball is worked in towards Igerman, still 30 yards out from goal. Rangers pass the ball forward. Barami cuts it back. Cherney was there, as was De Ligt, to clear the ball first time out for a throw.
That's good play by Igerman. Drops deep, interchanges with his team. I mean, the ball that he played through there, Barami, really good defence splitting ball, slightly wide. The opportunity goes of Eggin, but goes out for a throw in for Rangers. But Igerman, I've been impressed with him the way that he works the front line. He holds the ball up well, but he's not afraid to drop in and mix with the midfield as well, help his teammates.
He looked raw when he first arrived. Regular observers at Rangers tell me that he really has impressed Hamza Igerman. Only 22 years of age. He's only going to get better, only get stronger. As Manchester United with Ahmad. 21 minutes played, comes forward on this near side the right and then stops. I think that combination of Yilmaz and Jeftes worked really well for Rangers down their left. Eriksson passes the ball back. Yoro to Ahmad. Yilmaz once again snapping at the heels of the Manchester United player, and it forces United to go back to De Ligt. Not creating a great deal. We're almost midway through the first half.
Yeah, they've had a lot of possession, Manchester United, without any real purpose. I think that's at times that they have been guilty of that this season. Again, they're recycling the ball now with De Ligt at the back. It's almost at a walking pace, isn't it? The Rangers are quite happy to let them have this possession when they're in their own half in front of them, and Rangers have the trigger points when they do interact.
Garnacho's got an opportunity to run forward, far side the left. Dallo is ahead of him. Look for the early cutback. Takes the deflection, falls to Garnacho. And right-footed, took a deflection on its way through, right-footed, took it over the bar and behind for a corner kick. That was probably their best opportunity. Yeah, the best piece of play by Manchester United. Again, it comes down the left-hand side, Garnacho at the heart of it again. Ball comes out, strikes it really well, and I think whether it's inadvertently or it's a meant block, right in front of Jack Butland, one of the two centre-halves, proper I think it is. It's a really well-hit shot by Garnacho, flying straight towards the goal. Defender running across in front of the goalkeeper. No, he means it. It's a really good defensive header flicked over the bar by Raskin, right in front of his goalkeeper. Sometimes puts the goalkeeper off, but he actually did his job, Raskin. He got a head on it and put it over the bar. So that was an important intervention. In comes the corner kick. Ahmad to take it and head it into the near post. De Ligt. But the referee has already ruled it out. It will not stand. De Ligt doesn't know it yet. He's still celebrating. But the referee has already blown his whistle. VAR, of course, would have a look at it.
It's a simple corner routine by Manchester United. Ahmad on this near side, the right-hand side with a left foot in-swinger, finds De Ligt at the near post, and it looks like he's put Manchester United in the lead. The referee immediately disallows it. Two Rangers defenders on the floor. Bruno Fernandes is talking to the referee now, trying to unpack what's gone on. Not had the replays yet, but actually it looks like De Ligt somehow found space. He was completely unmarked. Whether it was a block that was put on for him. Oh, it's a very, very gentle hand in the back. De Ligt makes the run from the far post. The Rangers players try and pick him up, try and mark him. Ball's whipped into the near post, and actually, is it proper in front of him? De Ligt puts his right hand on him very, very gently. Oh, there's not a lot in that for me. Manchester United are very unfortunate. I think we're in the area of the referee's giving it on the field, so VAR won't overturn it. I think he's unlucky there, De Ligt.
That was one where they go the referee's call, and VAR very unlikely to overrule that. Bram van Drieschke, his fellow Belgian, and so that goal straight away was ruled out by the referee Eric Lambrechts, and it remains 0-0 here at Old Trafford on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds. And De Ligt, his header Wiped out, 0-0.
Just seeing it again there, a replay from a different angle. It's actually Lenny Yoro as well as De Ligt. Lenny Yoro steps across the front of Proper, who sends him to the ground.
Fernandes forward, right-hand side of the penalty area, and the cross on the half volley is headed well off target by Joshua Zirkzee, and it will run closer, I would imagine, towards the corner flag than it would to Jack Butland's goal.
Yeah, you can see now from a different angle on that replay, Lenny Yoro at the near post. He steps across Proper, which prevents him getting to the ball, which then gives De Ligt the free header. So actually the referee's call on the pitch and the VAR check, they probably did get it right. If the free kick was against De Ligt, you would say harsh, very harsh. But I think it was the block from Yoro, the reason the goal was disallowed.
Ruben Amorim, who's backtracked a lot from his comments about maybe the worst team in Manchester United's history, but he was also talking about it's hard to play at Old Trafford. They get a little bit too nervous, not helped by the fact that they've lost 4 of their last 5 at home in the Premier League. However, it's got to be said, in the Europa League, Manchester United, before today's set of games at least, were one of 5 teams who are yet to lose in this Europa League campaign. They drew their first 3, but they've won their next 3 since, and so along with Rangers are looking towards qualifying automatically for the knockout stages and therefore avoiding the playoffs. That at least is the aim. 26 minutes played. Cherney loses out to Fernandes. Fernandes plays the ball inside. Collier shows his strength but runs into 2 royal blue shirts, but he was fouled, and Toby Collier will get a free kick that Fernandes takes quickly. Ahmad was after it. Jefty though is back. They go shoulder to shoulder. He wasn't lightweight then, wasn't Ahmad. Held his own there in that challenge with the Rangers left back, as here he is just in from the touchline on this near side, the Manchester United right, as Yoro plays the ball inside. And Collier, 7th appearance for the club, looks a decent size in terms of the midfielder with his short blonde hair, wearing gloves though. Not that cold a night, as here is Ahmad back into to Collier once again, 21 years of age, floats it out to that far side, off the chest by Dalot, down the line it goes, far side. This is Garnacho, delivers the cross, nobody there to meet it as it curled its way through that 6-yard area and bounced once and out of play for a goal kick. 0-0.
Again the left hand side, and again it's that man Garnacho. Spoke before the game about his potential move, the talk of him been linked with every single club that he is at the moment, whether he would have the right mentality to play tonight, but I think he's been the brightest spark for Manchester United. And in a way, this is Ruben Amorim actually admitting that Ahmad's a better wide player, Garnacho's better on the left hand side. Yes, he's still playing the 3-4-2-1, but there's a little bit of flexibility in the system tonight, with Garnacho being allowed to drift that left hand side a lot more.
That's the insight from Paul Robinson here at Old Trafford as we approach the half hour. Still goalless. Rangers, who are yet to score in the previous 4 meetings against Manchester United. Jefty, Yilmaz had to accelerate, couldn't keep the ball in play, right in front of his manager, who has been told to come back inside his technical area, and Manchester United want to take a throw on the right. But not a great deal of movement for Ahmad. Rangers have restricted Manchester United to shots that have all been off target so far. Butland yet to be tested. Collier plays it back to De Ligt. Now it's with Martinez, who enters the centre circle in the Manchester United half. They're defending the Stretford end. Ball blocked by Tavernier. Picked up by Barami. Out it goes to Cherney. This is where they're going to be dangerous, Rangers. Cherney comes forward, the Czech international. Forward ball to Igerman. Controls it. Out towards that far side. Tavernier's heavy ball in. Yilmaz did ever so... Oh no, he didn't keep it in play. It's a nice cushioned control with the top of the right boot, but it just strayed and it'd gone behind for a goal kick to Manchester United.
Well, it was a lovely touch by Yilmaz, wasn't it? But I think he had just gone over the line. Tavernier again on the right hand side. It was a high looping ball over to the far post. Ball already gone out of play. There is a little bit of a lull in the game, in the atmosphere as well. You just feel that Manchester United at times pedestrian-like in the build-up, slow. But Rangers, you've got to give them a lot of credit for the way that they're set up. Defensively, you can see they're a unit, and what's impressed me most of the Rangers unit is the distance between the centre forwards and the defence. They're moving up and down the pitch as a unit. The game's not spread, the game's tight. They're trying to keep the press on together as a team, and as a unit they slide up and down the pitch, which has been effective.
Well, Rangers have won the ball over, turnover in the midfield. This is Cherney, look towards Barami. Stepping out of defence was Martinez. He continues to come forward to Collier, took it into his right foot very, very neatly and passes the ball out to Yoro. Yoro now can come forward, accelerates, opens his legs a little bit over the halfway line. Ahmad's ball inside, little touch by Eriksson. Proper though goes sliding into the challenge. Ball breaks towards Yilmaz. Now finds it inside. Barami's forward ball. This is Igerman. Holds on to it. Plays it back towards the centre circle. And now it's Barami who spreads it out towards Cherney. Looking promising for Rangers. Coming forward now. Right corner of the area. Cherney's cross. Blocked. It'll roll out for a Rangers corner. 0-0. Philippe Clement applauds above his head.
Yeah, he's pleased. He's been trying to get a message onto his players for the last 3 or 4 minutes. I think it was a communication issue, trying to get the message on. He was talking to his players about getting the ball over to that right-hand side, the switch of play. As we've said about Cherney, he's been a really integral part of what they've done, and when he has got the ball tonight, he's looked a real live wire. Gets the ball now, gives his team a corner, an opportunity to put the ball in the box.
Rangers, who've saved some of their best form for European competition this season, certainly showing a threat. They'll always show a threat when Cherney's on the ball. He's got that corner kick to take on that far side, the right. The arms go aloft, playing from right to left. It's an in-swinger, and it comes off the head of Dallo at the near post, and it will go behind for another corner kick. So from one corner on the right in front of the Stretford end, it'll be a corner on this near side, the left.
I'm not sure he knew that came off Dallo, then Lenny Yoro. I think Yoro was in control. He had an opportunity to maybe keep that ball in. He let it run out thinking it was a goal kick.
Tavernier is the player who's going to take it on this near side, right in front of the tunnel area at Old Trafford. 14 minutes to go to half-time, still 0-0. The right arm aloft from Tavernier. It's right-footed. Bayanda gets it away with under pressure. Gets one hand to it. Ahmad waits for the ball to drop, and it had to drop a long way. And he was fouled by Yilmaz. About 6 yards outside the centre circle, and it'll be a Manchester United free kick inside their own half.
Again, another sign, another showing of that blue mass all together, moving back from the corner. They had the set play, they had their opportunity. 6 or 7 bodies committed forward into the Manchester United box. As soon as they lose possession, everyone tracking back. Lovely touch by Ahmad. Raskin does what he needs to do, takes the foul in the middle of the pitch.
Delict, forward ball. Collier plays it back. Yoro able to assess his options, goes along the ground towards Ahmad, dropping back inside the Manchester United half to Delict, quickly closed down by Cherney. There's the trigger as Barami and Barron were looking to do so and press from the midfield as well. They then switch it to Manchester United, out towards that far side for Garnacho. Garnacho is 30 yards out from goal, lays it back. Fernandez, he will run with the ball infield, and then Collier is to his side, to the right, and Collier goes now to this right touchline. Ahmad looking to go on the outside of Jefti, but Jefti gets a foot into the challenge. It's a Manchester United throw down by the corner flag.
They've done well on the left-hand side, Jefti and Yilmaz. I think that's something that Philippe Clement's clearly worked on with Ahmad on the right. The two full-backs, I mean, they're both naturally full-backs, but they double up well, track back, and they've made space few and far between.
Ahmad tries to get past, but he's blocked by Raskin. Certainly when Tavernier was out of the side, Yilmaz, although he is a left back, was filling in, showing his versatility as a right full back for Rangers of late, as Fernandez tried to pass the ball to Dallo, cut out though by Tavernier, and the break is on for Rangers. Tavernier partially stopped by a sliding Fernandez. They lose control of the ball, and it runs back towards Martinez. Early forward to Garnacho, rolls it out towards Fernandez. Tavernier is back in position. Barron comes across, Fernandez runs in field, plays it forward. Proper was sliding and cuts it out on the edge of the Rangers penalty area. Martinez, short and forward, Fernandez. Everybody, with the exception of Igerman, is back behind the ball for Rangers, as Manchester United seeing a lot of it, but not really causing Rangers too many concerns.
And that defensive unit that I spoke about, they're narrowing the gaps between the fullback and the centre half when Manchester United are in possession, and they do encroach into Rangers territory. The gaps between them narrow. Manchester United are struggling to move the ball quick enough to pull people out of position and to pick holes in this Rangers back four at the moment.
Here is Dilic just outside the centre circle in the Manchester United half. Yoro was under pressure from Yilmaz. It was a hurried ball downfield because of the presence of Ridvan Yilmaz running towards him, and it goes out of play for a Rangers throw as the Rangers support continue to generate all the noise inside Old Trafford.
They've started off really well, Rangers. I think they weathered the storm early on without really conceding that many chances. Manchester United have dominated possession, but as I said, on the turnover possession, Rangers have had their opportunity. They've showed that they're not just coming here to sit and defend. They've had arguably the better opportunities going forward. Possession stats won't add up in their favour, but actually the shift that they've put in and what he's got from his side so far, Philippe Clement, I think he's quite content on that touchline below us.
10 minutes to go to half-time. BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds in the Australian Open tennis tomorrow. Tennis breakfast will start at 8 o'clock. The men's semi-finals, and you'll hear it all on Sports Extra, as it's still goalless here in this vital game in the Europa League, as Martinez up towards the halfway line, left of the centre circle, stroked back by Dalot to the Argentine, but playing in front of Rangers at this stage. De Ligt, he goes square, Yoro comes onto it, Ahmad touches the ball and links up with Eriksson. Ahmad now bursts forward, running at the heart of the Rangers defence, and then his ball inside was easily cleared by Tavernier. The right back tucked in, able just to take one step forward and cut it out. Eriksson plays it back towards Fernandes. He's over 30 yards out from goal, comes onto it now, slides it through. Here is Ahmad, good save by the legs of Butland. Loose ball, Eriksson can't get there. Barami gets it away towards Cherney. First time that Butland has been called into question, 36 minutes into the game, and he was equal to it. Oh,
it's a brilliant save by Jack Butland. You think for all the world that Bruno Fernandes is going to pull the trigger, he's going to hit the shot himself. He doesn't. He disguises a ball through and he slips a ball into Ahmad's path absolutely perfectly. He doesn't need to break his stride, Ahmad. Looks up, strikes with his right foot, but as soon as he looks up, the goalkeeper's on top of him and he's spread himself in that star position. Sharp off his line, Jack Butland makes a really good save.
Sure, it wouldn't be lost on many a Rangers fan. You know what it's like when some of your old boys can come back to haunt you, that after the grief that he got from certain sections during that loan spell 3 years ago, that he was to get the goal. Of course, he's been in such excellent form for Manchester United this season, as Fernandes comes with the ball. Still 0-0. And we've got 8 minutes to go to the break. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Ahmad comes to a standstill, goes short and square. Fernandes chips it forward. Xerxes beaten in the air by Balogun. Eriksson quickly plays it towards Garnacho, cuts inside just outside the D. Fernandes lifts the ball forward. Dalot is there on the half volley, cut back. Xerxes shot blocked, and Cherney's scuff clearance will actually fall quite kindly for his goalkeeper Jack Butland. Still goalless.
This is good interaction by Manchester United, good short passing, quick changes of play on the edge of the box. Bruno Fernandes again lifts it to the far post to Dalot, does really well on the half volley, cuts it back to Xerxes, and to be fair, that's Xerxes' real first interaction in the game. Can't really remember us talking about him that much. Half volley blocked by the defender.
Barami was forward, but Yoro was there. He's being pursued by Igerman, and it will go out of play for a Rangers throw. Let's get an update from Wrexham, that vital game. Sarah Mulkerrins.
It's Wrexham 1, Birmingham 1. The leaders just finding their way into this match. They're dominating possession now, and they've had a couple of half chances. Alfie May deflected shot out for a corner, and then Lyndon Dykes had a speculative shot edge of the area. Wrexham do look lively on the counter, but at the moment it's Wrexham 1, Birmingham 1.
Thanks, Sarah. Still 0-0 here at Old Trafford. This Europa League game. Igerman comes forward. He's going to shoot from around 30 yards out. Takes a deflection, and Bayinda was forced to go to ground and make the save. Away towards his right, just to turn it behind for a corner kick. That was an awkward one.
Yeah, it's Rangers, another example, getting through this Manchester United back line too easy. Igerman dropping deep. He drops deep 30 yards outside the box. Nobody goes with him. The back three just drop off. But he goes to run at them and nobody goes near him. Has a shot, takes a deflection, makes it difficult for the Manchester United goalkeeper Bayinda. Deflects off Martinez down to his bottom right hand corner. 2 hands on it, pushes it round for a corner. But Igerman again shows real intent.
He'd saved earlier on, remember, from a Yilmaz left-footed volley. Still scoreless here at Old Trafford. Corner kick to Rangers, to be taken in front of the tunnel area. Tavernier, right-footed, in it goes to the near post, headed behind again by Dalot inside that crowded 6-yard area. As Tavernier, before picking the ball up, gets across his verbal instructions to the players who wait. Manchester United have got every red shirt inside their own penalty area. The Belgian referee, though, is having to keep an eye on a little bit of jostling as they try and put pressure on Altay Bayinda. So he's told the offending players just to cut that out. Very, very crowded. Tavernier with a corner kick. It's another in-swinger by Ender, did ever so well under pressure. The arm came up and over and managed to get the ball away, but he's actually been knocked to the floor and lies actually inside the goal net.
Yeah, the referee's given a free kick on the goalkeeper, but it's something that Rangers have clearly worked on these set plays. Remember Bayinda when he played at Tottenham a couple of weeks ago, he looked really shaky, he looked really nervous under the high ball. Looks like he's copped in the face, but what Rangers are doing, they're absolutely packing the 6-yard box, and Tavernier's delivery is that good. He's whipping it underneath that crossbar, underneath the goalkeeper's crossbar, making it really difficult for Bayinda. He's not comfortable with the cross ball or the high ball at times, as we've seen previously with him. He gets drawn underneath the ball, then has to backtrack, and it's actually his own player. It's Collier who he catches. He ends up flicking it wide, Bayinda, over and wide at the far post, but as he's coming down, his head and neck clash with Collier. He misjudges it, the goalkeeper, gets caught under it and has to backtrack.
Yeah, he's had the physio tending to him. It would have jarred the head and neck, as Paul quite rightly says, as he's coming down, he's collided with the thigh of the young midfielder Toby Collier, but he looks like he's okay to continue. 4.5 minutes to go to half-time of normal time. Manchester United 0, Rangers 0. A reminder, the next live football on 5 Live is on Saturday. Mark Chapman on air as ever from midday. Wolves-Arsenal will be our commentary from 3, and the usual goal service to be followed by Manchester City-Chelsea at 5:30 as Collier puts his head bravely towards the feet of Igerman. And then Fernandez with a raking ball out towards that far side, looking for Garnacho. Balogun will go back to Butland, and Butland puts his foot through that left-footed downfield. Cherney tries to keep the ball in play, succeeds. Rangers have the ball. Tavernier 10 yards inside his own half. This now is by Raskan, his ball in field. Barron picks it up. Barron goes in for a 50-50. Felt the challenges of that on his on the right foot. Manchester United pick up the ball now with Fernandez, just forward of the centre circle, central area. Still it remains goalless here on 5 Live as Garnacho has Tavernier in front of him. Left corner of the area, back heels the ball. Dalot with a cross, headed away by Pröper. Headed further clear then by Yilmaz on the edge of the area. Teed up by Fernandez to Collier. Plays it out towards Ahmad. Ahmad just waits, they've doubled up on him. Jefter tries to get a foot into the challenge. And now it comes with Collier. Now you can hear Old Trafford in stereo sound with their supporters finding their voices with 3 minutes to go of normal time of this first half remaining. Ahmed out towards Dalot. Dalot waits. Fernandez makes himself available. Rangers keeping their shape, keeping their discipline. Dalot once again out towards the left. Can't find a way through at the minute. This is Fernandez. Tees up Martinez. Takes it on. Shoots! Good save by Butland. It was travelling. Hit it left-footed. Tumbling save by Jack Butland, and a strong right hand as well behind for a corner kick. 0-0.
I tell you, he's hit that, Martinez, hasn't he? He's hit that with real force and power. Didn't look like Manchester United were going anywhere. Bruno Fernandes, Martinez comes up on his right hand shoulder, just plays it into his path, one touch onto his left foot, and he hits it really, really well. Troubles Jack Butland high to his right hand side. Really well struck on the left foot of Martinez. It's close enough to Jack Butland, but he doesn't take any chances. Dives to his right with a top hand. Good strong hand, pushes it away for a corner. Manchester United's best attempt, arguably, apart from the disallowed goal.
Yeah. Said earlier on that Barron had gone in for a 50-50 challenge, and you could see that he'd been hurt. He got a knock on his right foot, and he's gone down inside the penalty area, so there is a stoppage in play with less than 2 minutes of normal time remaining here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Diomande, of course, is out suspended, so they've got actually coming back Tom Lawrence from injury, who began his career, of course, at Manchester United. But it would be a real blow to lose Conor Barron, who they picked up on a free from Aberdeen in the summer. As the Rangers supporters watch on with maybe a degree of anxiety.
Yeah, just seeing a replay of it now on the screen in front of us. It was that challenge with De Ligt. Goes in the old-fashioned side foot challenge. Both go for the ball. They hit the ball at the same time. Barron just opens his right knee out, just feels his knee ligaments on the right-hand side, which is what he's saying to the physio and the doctor. He's up and he's walking off the pitch on this near side towards us. Looks to be moving okay.
They will hope that he will be in a position to continue as we enter the last 60 seconds of normal time. Still goalless. Amad Diallo then to take the corner kick on this near side. It's left-footed, it's an in-swinger, and it will go out of play for a goal kick. I think Amad was half expecting that to go behind for another corner.
I think between them, the assistant and the referee guessed, because it was a great corner kick into the near post. There was that many bodies, blue and red shirts, you couldn't really tell who it came off. It was one of those that was delayed. The referee hadn't made a decision, so he goes with a safe option, goal kick.
I think ultimately it was the correct decision as well, as Barron jogs back onto the field of play. The diminutive midfielder for Rangers, and we'll find out how much stoppage time there will be. It is 0-0, just as it was when they met in the Champions League some 14 years ago. That's how it finished here at Old Trafford. And then a Wayne Rooney penalty got the only goal of the game late on when they met at Ibrox. 3 minutes of added on time, a minimum of 3, which we're now into. Here is Eriksson for Manchester United, just inside his own half. Collier plays it to Martinez, can come onto the ball, and he's over the halfway line. Dalot again accelerates ahead of him. Garnacho tries to tickle into the path of Dalot. Fernandes flicks it again in that direction, but Rangers deal with it well, clear it. Fernandes lifts it forward. Dalot has stayed, but Tavernier will hold him off, and Tavernier finds Czerny, and Czerny will win a throw off the legs of Bruno Fernandes, and Rangers get a throw midway through their own half.
You feel there's a makings of a really good game here, don't you? You feel like there's a story that's about to unfold in the second half. It's just bubbling under without actually really catching fire. A couple of opportunities for Manchester United. Rangers not afraid to go down the other end. I mean, it's an old-fashioned saying, an adage that we say all the time, but one goal will change this game. It really will spark it into life. At the moment, you feel it's just bubbling under the surface and ready to go.
Well, bearing in mind that Rangers are at home for their final fixture next week against Union St Gilloise, who will probably they're on the 25th, so they're going to need to win that just to get into the playoffs, the Belgian side. Whereas Manchester United, they travel to Romania for the team formerly known as Steaua Bucharest, who are currently in the top 8. They lie 7th after they won away at Karabakh by 3-2 earlier today. So 2 very interesting fixtures next week. Here is Yilmaz. Bigger man is with him, couldn't control on the edge of the area, and Manchester United get it away, and then there was a foul on Lisandro Martinez, and that'll be a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, there's a foul on Yilmaz first, which is what the Rangers players are surrounding the referee suggesting. Delict on Yilmaz first, sends him to the ground. It's Iggerman that goes through and he catches Martinez, but actually the referee thought he was playing Rangers an advantage, but it wasn't in the end.
That strange noise, by the way, when I went, yeah.
I was going to say, was that a glitch or was that you?
That wasn't me saying no in Russian.
Oh.
I was pausing as I had to just scroll down with the league table.
That table again, it's causing you bother again, is it?
Yet. That was deliberate. Stoppage time, 0-0. Manchester United Rangers. Garnacho stopped. Balogun caught as he came out of that challenge hopping. And it will be a Rangers throw over on that far side as a number of spectators are heading towards the exits for their half-time refreshments here, but Balogun has stayed down. And the physio's been called for. This will only extend the minimum time to be added on, but he does look in a lot of pain, does Liam Balogun, who they back in a second spell after that time with another Rangers, Queen's Park Rangers down in London, formerly of Brighton and Wigan. Got a goal against Aberdeen on his return after missing 5 with injury. But with his experience, and it is a problem area for them too. Nsiala is ineligible. You've still got Dujon Sterling, who's very, very versatile for Rangers, who's out injured as well. So they'll hope that Balogun is able to continue. So we've got a stoppage here. It means we can get a half-time scoreline from Wrexham. Sarah Mulcahy.
A lively first half. It's Wrexham 1, Birmingham 1. The hosts went ahead just 9 minutes in, capitalising on a defensive error. Ollie Rathbone was strong to challenge, cut free, finished brilliantly from 20 yards out. But the League One leaders then were level. Corners proving problematic rather for Wrexham. Lyndon Dykes able to get free at the far post. He headed in. Birmingham have been better since then, but it's all square at the break. Wrexham 1, Birmingham 1.
Thank you, Sarah. The notable absentee at the back is John Sutar, who's been out since mid-December and was their best defender. He was having an excellent season before he was out with injury. But Balogun is hobbling, but he's back on his feet. Play is back underway. And there, in fact, is the half-time whistle. But Balogun is still in a lot of pain. He's actually just buried his head inside the royal blue shirt of Rangers. If he was to reappear at the start of the second half, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain there. You could see it was a challenge with Joshua Zirkzee over on the far side. Zirkzee clearly gets the ball, but as he does, he just catches Balogun on the ankle, and he went down and he had his head in his arms for quite a long time, face down into the turf, holding that left ankle. Had a bit of treatment on it, but he's really is struggling now as all the players make their way off to the tunnel on our left hand side. He's meeting with his manager Philippe Clement on the halfway line, clearly some distance behind the players, unable to keep up. He's struggling.
Bayenda has made 2 saves, keeping out a Yilmaz volley and one from Igaman from distance, whereas for Manchester United, they had a goal disallowed through De Ligt for VAR for a foul on Prupper at the back, but Butland has since made 2 saves from Ahmad with his legs, and then a rising effort from Martinez. But half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United 0, Rangers 0. Steve.
Handily having Paul Robinson here when the most significant moment of that first half was a big save, and it was a big save from Jack Butland.
He was quick off his line. It was a really good block by the goalkeeper, as we said. He's been out injured for a while, but the impact that he's had since he's gone to Rangers, he's been one of the better players in the last 12 months or so, and you can see there why Philippe Clement trusts him, put him back in the side. It was a lovely through ball by Bruno Fernandes straight into the path of Ahmed, and he looked up, and immediately he looked up, he just saw Jack Butland, that yellow shirt there, and there was no way past him. Did that star shape as a goalkeeper, and it was a really good block from him.
René Merlenstein is with us all evening as well. Give us the coach's view on that first half, René.
Yeah, it's like what Paul said. It's a bit of a strange game. I looked at it and Manchester United have got more possession. You can see that obviously Garnacho's got that freedom, which I think is a good thing to go more to the left. I thought he was quite a bright spark, but it needs that real little bit of quality, and Fernandes produced that with that little through ball that disguised the through ball to Ahmad, and I thought he's obviously didn't look at the goalkeeper. I thought if he would have disguised and chipped it, he probably could have wrong-footed Butland, but it was a great save from Butland. But it's like Paul said, it's like there's something bubbling under the surface, but the game needs a goal. It needs a goal, and it's also interesting to see if Balogun is going to come back, because that makes a difference, because I thought overall Rangers stood well defensively. Didn't give too much spaces away. But yeah, if they lose another central defender, it will be a problem for Rangers.
I suppose the good thing, René, is that if this was a Scottish Premiership game or a Premier League game, you wouldn't necessarily know whether or not it was going to go from bubbling over the surface to properly exploding into a great game. But the reality is, I was looking at the live scores now. Manchester United in the live Europa League table are 9th and Rangers 11th, so neither of them want to go into their final games. Rangers at home to Union Saint-Gilloise, Manchester United away at the artist formerly known as Steaua Bucharest, who haven't lost a single game at home in Europe this season, have only conceded 1 goal. They want to get the win tonight to keep it in their own hands, so it has to change.
Well, it has to, and I think Manchester United need to take the game with the scruff of the neck. They need to push the pressure on and try to force that first goal, so that will open up the spaces and probably creates more chances for Man United. I think Rangers, in the contrary, want to stay in the game, so they don't want to do anything silly for the first sort of 20-25 minutes and think if we're still in the game with 0-0, we then try to maybe win it, at the end of the game. So that is, I think, what we're going to see the second half.
Good stuff, René. Thank you very much. René Merlenstein with us all evening. Sprinklers on here inside Old Trafford. Rangers fans having their first break from singing and bouncing of the whole evening so far. So Manchester United 0, Rangers 0, half-time here. Wrexham won, Birmingham won half-time in League One and earlier in the Europa League. Big win for Tottenham Hotspur, 3-2 victors away from home at Hoffenheim. That takes them up to 4th in the league phase table. We'll be back live at Old Trafford after the latest news with Carl Hartley.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. The teenager who murdered 3 young girls in Southport last year has been told he'll serve at least 52 years in prison and is unlikely ever to be released. The chief prosecutor says 18-year-old Axel Rudacabana has shown no remorse for his actions. Detective Chief Inspector Jason Pye was the lead investigating officer.
Although no outcome at court today could possibly ease the pain and trauma for the victims and their families, I hope that knowing Ruda Cabana will spend a considerable amount of time in prison will at least bring some comfort.
The sentence is the second longest handed out to someone of Ruda Cabana's age. Our correspondent Daniel Sanford says the sentence is extraordinary.
Under the law, a whole life order, which is the sentence which can be passed when someone can't be released from prison, can't be passed on someone who's under 18 at the time that they committed the crime. So given that that was not an option available for the judge, then a 52-year minimum term, which means that Axel Ruda Cabana can't even be considered for release until he's 69, very nearly 70 years old, is quite an extraordinary sentence.
Elsewhere this evening, Police Scotland have warned 3 million people not to travel as Storm Iowen is expected to hit tomorrow morning. The Met Office has issued red weather warnings for parts of Scotland and for Northern Ireland, where train and bus services have been suspended. A US federal judge has temporarily blocked President Trump's order to end automatic citizenship for babies born on American soil. The judge in Seattle says the order is blatantly unconstitutional. With 13 nominations, Emilia Perez has become the most nominated foreign film in Oscar history. Demi Moore has received her first ever Oscar nod for Best Actress in The Substance. And Charlie XCX leads this year's Brit Awards with 5 nominations. The Beatles are shortlisted for the first time since the 70s for their new release Now and Then. Ezra Collective are also up for a number of awards, including Group of the Year.
What does it take to go racing in the fastest cars in the world? Oscar Piastri.
Your head's trying to get ripped one way, your body's trying to go another.
Lance Stroll.
It's very extreme in the sense of how close you're racing wheel to wheel.
We've been given unprecedented access to 2 of the most famous names in Formula One, McLaren and Aston Martin.
I'm Lando Norris, racing driver for McLaren Formula One team.
They opened the doors to their factories as the 2024 season reached its peak.
They work to build a beautiful bit of machinery that I get to then go and have fun in.
I'm Josh Hartnett. This is F1 Back at Base. Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport
with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
And it is Manchester United 0, Rangers 0, half-time here in the Europa League at Old Trafford. Full second half commentary to come. Harry Maguire has just emerged in front of us, one of the players who was defending his head coach in the build-up to the game, saying the players need to do more. Hopefully we'll see more from both sides in the second half. Elsewhere, Chris Wood has signed a new deal at Nottingham Forest, goes through until 2027. 2 bits of business for Manchester City. So captain Kyle Walker, as expected, is joining AC Milan on loan until the end of the season. That agreement, by the way, includes an option to buy. Arriving at City, the Eintracht Frankfurt forward Omar Marmoush. The club have paid £59 million for him on a deal through to 2029. In cricket, Australia have won the Women's Ashes. They beat England by 6 runs via the Duckworth-Lewis method in the second T20. There's more on that on the TMS podcast, available now on BBC Sounds. In tennis, world number 1 Arina Sabalenka will aim to win her 3rd successive Australian Open title on Saturday. She's going to face Madison Keys in the final. 2 times runner-up Pat Cash watched today's semi-final action with Gigi Salmon.
Pat, women's semi-finals day at the Australian Open, and Arina Sabalenka, I don't know if she was your pick, but many people's pick at the start of the tournament to not only reach the final, but to defend her title.
Well, she's defending twice, isn't she?
Yeah.
You know, it's not an easy thing to do, but has been done a few times here and over the years. And coming in today against Paula Badosa, she played fantastic tennis, and there was barely a mistake. There were some great rallies. The first set was sort of a battle backwards and forwards, but she's got a lot of power, a lot of confidence, loves this court, and I think she's got to be favourite to go ahead and grab the title again.
So 1 set dropped through 6 matches to the final. She's now 20 consecutive wins at Melbourne Park, and I think what people really admire about Sabalenka is the things she's added to her game. It's just not all about power from the back of the court.
No, but she's still got a lot of power from the back of the court, doesn't she? I mean, she hits the ball so hard, and that serve of hers, even though from time to time it can go off a little bit, and she can throw in some double faults, but once that serve gets going, it is she's brutally tough to beat, and it opens up the court for her, of course, as well. So she gets a lot of short balls, and those short balls that she gets, after the good serving, she just absolutely thumps them. And we sort of, I suppose we probably haven't seen that power since, Serena Williams was on the tour. So, people who don't know her that well, you can sort of say, well, she's very Serena-ish, maybe not as good around the net, but she's, and she was a bit of a one-trick pony for a while, Sabalenka, by just blasting winners, and if they went in, she won, and if she didn't, she'd lose, and then she'd serve double faults or aces, but she's tidied that up very nicely, and that's why she's a multiple Grand Slam champion now, and to give her credit, she's getting better around the net. She's feeling more confident. She knows she can play well under pressure, because there was a question mark, wasn't there, in her career? Whenever she got to a semi-final, she'd just throw in a bad match and spray balls everywhere, and we did wonder, was she ever going to win a Grand Slam? She's good enough, strong enough to do it, but to give her credit, she's improved her game, become much more solid. Maybe it's the years of experience, as well added in there, and she's a incredibly tough competitor and world number one for a reason.
And credit to Paula Badosa through to her first Grand Slam semi-final. She'll be back in the top 10 when the new rankings come out. Then the second semi-final, Pat, between Madison Keys and Iga Swiatek. Absolute barnstormer.
It was an unusual match, wasn't it? Because it had the world number 2, Swiatek, who hasn't been to a final here. Madison Keys has been in a US Open final and performed poorly. And I suppose the question mark about her as well is that, can she perform well under pressure? And in the end, she did. There was a very tight first set where both players were really struggling to get their rhythms. Swiatek grabbed that 7-5. Anything could have happened in the second set, but Keys relaxed, and she's such a powerful player. Got a big serve 3 aces in a row in one game, hitting forehand winners. Swiatek's game just fell to pieces, and she regrouped well to stay in the match. She was just barely hanging in there, Swiatek, the whole third set, and then she grabbed the break. We thought, she's going to come through and win the match, and she did have a match point, but the Keys' power straight back down into Swiatek's shots on the quicker courts really troubled her. And Swiatek, of course, is multiple French Open champion, where the court's a bit slower, but on the quicker courts she struggled. And today, in the end, I think that did her in, that the Keys' power just at the end of a tight tiebreaker, where she had had the chances. Swiatek had the chances to finish it off. Keys just held in, thumped a few good winners. It almost felt like she played her best tennis right at the end when she looked really tired. And well done to her. She's had a tough run through, and she fully deserves to be in the final.
Worth hearing from both of the semi-finalists, starting with the winner, Madison Keys.
I think I'm still trying to come down and figure out where I am, but really proud of myself for being able to stay in that. Obviously being up in the third and feeling like I was so close to the finish line and losing my serve, and then being able to just kind of stay as close as I could in that tiebreaker until the end. Just really proud of myself for that match.
This match was long, so it had many different changes of momentum and many different moments that I could, describe. But I guess at the end, Madison was kind of brave with her decisions, and she pushed me when she needed to. And yeah, I would say I wasn't feeling as free as on previous matches to also push in important moments.
For Iga Swiatek, I'm sure that is going to be a tough one to take, but as Madison Keys, what to expect from the final? A lot of big hitting.
There's no doubts about that. There's going to be probably not a lot of rallies, but a lot of big hitting, a lot of winners, and the spectacular tennis. And it'll be very intriguing to see how these players deal with the pressure of the situation against somebody who hits the ball just about as hard as them. And that's not often you can say that.
Pat Cash and Gigi Salmon. Tennis Breakfast back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m, 5 Sports Extra. The RFU's Chief Executive Bill Sweeney says that resigning would be the cowardly way out. He's been criticised for overseeing record RFU losses and job cuts in a year that a bonus scheme pushed his pay to £1.1 million. Our sports news correspondent Laura Scott asked him if he'd considered stepping down.
Not once, because I do believe we're doing the right things. I do believe we've put in a very strong performance around making sure the union is financially strong. And if you're financially strong, you can invest in all the various programs we need to do. That's the case. We play a leading role, not only in the Six Nations, but also in many initiatives in the global game, in collaboration with the Southern Hemisphere. And I think there's a lot of unfinished business there. I feel as strongly about the role as I did when I first came in. I have the same energy levels I had. The easiest thing to do would be to walk away. And with all this stuff going on, and we started off this conversation about it's not pleasant, and I'd be lying if I said it was a nice experience. But the easiest thing to do would be to pack it in for all the reasons we've discussed and go and take a holiday for a while. But I think that's just a cowardly way out. So I'd rather step at it, unless somebody says, no, we'd like you to go.
Bill Sweeney speaking to Laura Scott. He'll face a vote of no confidence in a meeting between the RFU hierarchy on March the 27th. We're almost ready for second half commentary here at Old Trafford. Both sets of players are with us. In front of me, some Manchester United fans who are looking toward the director's box. The likes of Gary Pallister and Brian Robson have just emerged from there. Something slightly metaphorical in that, looking backwards rather than looking forwards, because the present for Manchester United is not quite so bright. Harry Maguire is getting ready to come on. There's going to be Rangers changes as well. So, second half commentary from here inside Old Trafford. Manchester United and Rangers with Paul Robinson and Ian Dennis.
Well, Liam Balogun's got to be one of the players coming off, because coming on is going to be Bailey Rice, who's an 18-year-old. Ross McCausland is also going to be coming on. So we'll just wait to see how they change things up here, Rangers. So it'll be also Connor Barron. I mean, there were two players who'd left the field after getting knocks at the end of that first half, but we'll wait for official confirmation of the electronic board when it goes up. Manchester United, incidentally, haven't made any changes. So Bayinda is in goal, back three of Yoro, De Ligt and Martinez, the wing-backs Amad Diallo and Dallo, Collier, Eriksson, Garnacho, Xerxes and Fernandez. Oh no, Harry Maguire has come on. So Manchester United have made a change. So Harry Maguire has come on at half-time. Here is McCausland, which is for Balogun, and Rice has also come onto the field of play. And it was De Ligt who's gone off. He had the disallowed goal. So Harry Maguire replacing De Ligt. They are the half-time changes being made by Ruben Amorim. Paul Robinson.
Yeah, interesting from Rangers. Obviously the two injuries, because you would expect that Philippe Clement will be reasonably pleased. In fact, very pleased the way that his team have played in the first half. The injury to Balogun that we spoke about before half-time, it was pretty obvious that he wasn't going to be able to come back out. And Barron as well, with the knee injury that he picked up in that challenge. So I think Bailey Rice will drop in for Balogun at the back. We'll just wait and see whether Yilmaz tucks inside or McCausland actually plays inside. See how Rangers line up. But Maguire for De Ligt, light for light. Maguire slots into the middle of Yoro Martinez.
So Rangers being forced to adjust, and in the way that they're lining up at the second half, it is Yilmaz who's now switched to right back, which is what he's been doing of late. We mentioned that in the first half. Tavernier has gone inside to partner Robin Prupper at the heart of their defence, and Jefty is the left back. Cherney is still on this near side, the right. Rice is in field of that with Raskan, and then you've got McCausland who's wide left, Barami and Igerman. That's how Rangers line up in the all-royal blue, playing from left to right. They're attacking that vocal and vociferous support away towards our right-hand side. And we've given you the Manchester United team in their red shirts, white shorts and black socks. Rangers have a corner kick, 0-0, this Europa League contest. Cherney to take it, left-footed, headed out by Fernandez. Yilmaz, who did ever so well on that left, didn't he, helping out with Jefty?
Well, I think they doubled up on Amad Diallo very, very well in the first half, and that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on in this second half, with Yilmaz coming over to this right-back position. Him and Cherney on this near side now.
Ball lifted high and downfield. It's a bouncing ball. The blonde-haired figure of McCausland is the player who deals with it. Northern Ireland international. Made his first start since the end of October against Fraserburgh at the weekend. The part-timers from the north of Scotland in that 5-0 victory in the Scottish Cup. As Manchester United, attacking the Stretford end, have a throw just shy of the halfway line here on BBC Radio 5 Live, and also available on the BBC Sounds app. Not a great deal of movement for Dallo. Gets it back from the little layoff by Martinez, who then tells him to go back to Harry Maguire. Maguire, who's that central figure of that back three for Manchester United, right-footed, passes the ball to Yoro and then gets it back. But it's It's a steady pace by Manchester United. Maguire, long searching ball off the chest of Ahmed. Links up now with Eriksen, with pace, accelerates. Right corner of the area, looks for Eriksen. Right hand side of the penalty area, low ball in. Cut out very well by Tavernier, behind for a corner kick, 0-0.
Does well there, Tavernier. Just covers in front of his goalkeeper again. It's the right hand side where we did wonder whether Ahmed will get a little bit more joy now that he's not getting doubled up on. Plays a 1-2, Christian Eriksen slips him in down the right hand side. Tavernier just comes across and makes the block in front of his goalkeeper, concedes a corner.
3 minutes into the second half, Manchester United have a corner kick. The shoulders go up and then they drop as Ahmed delivers the ball. It's an in-swinger. It's a good header away by Igerman, actually on the goal line at the far post, doing his defensive duties well, the Moroccan striker. Czerny tries to get away from Garnacho. He wriggles free. Czerny now, Garnacho snaps back at him. Referee has to sidestep out of the way as Czerny plays it out towards that far side, the Rangers left. And all of a sudden, GFT with the cross, away from goal, and then coming onto it actually was the substitute Bailey Rice. And he hit it left-footed on the half volley, but couldn't get over it, and it went into the supporters behind that goal of Bayindir away towards our right. 0-0.
It's a lovely sweeping move by Rangers. All comes from them defending their own corner kick away to our left-hand side, and it was a brilliant header from Igerman. In-swinging corner by Ahmad. It looked like he was going for goal. It was going to drop under the crossbar at the far post. Igerman somehow heads it clear, and they go down the other end of the pitch, Rangers, and in 2 or 3 passes the ball gets cut back to the edge of the box to Bailey Rice on the half volley, takes it on the side foot, leaning back too much, up and over the goal. But again, Rangers from one end to the other, 2 or 3 passes, very quick sweeping forward movement.
Worth reiterating that Rangers are far up from full strength. And this is an 18-year-old Bailey Rice making just his 6th appearance for the club. What a moment that would have been to have scored at Old Trafford, as here he is on the ball now with his short cropped dark hair running forward. Gets away from Dallo, out towards Czerny. Czerny cuts in off that right touchline, continues to cut inside and shoots left-footed, and Bayindir makes the save at his near left-hand post, but he had his body behind the ball and it was a comfortable save. 0-0.
They're certainly growing in confidence, Rangers. Czerny on this right-hand side, cuts in on his left foot, the space just opens up for him. Everybody drops off him, nobody goes to close him down. Collier, I think it is in the end, goes to close him down. It's a decent shot, low to Bayindir's left. Doesn't trouble the goalkeeper, but it's another attempt on target for Rangers.
And not surprised that they'll be gaining in confidence. They've had some very good results on their travels in Europe this season. They've won away at Malmo. They've got a good draw at Olympiacos, winning away at Nice by 4-1 as well. So this is a Rangers side that actually, if you look at their form, they've not failed to score in their last 22 games since a slender defeat at Rugby Park against Kilmarnock. In fact, only once in their last 29 games have they failed to score. Whether they can register their first ever goal in their 5th meeting against Manchester United remains to be seen. It remains 0-0. Here is Yilmaz, now playing as a right back, gives the ball away. Collier is onto it. Collier infield. Eriksen, early ball. There was Raskan to break it up, loses out in the challenge to Eriksen, quickly wins it back, but Tavernier was alert. Yilmaz then falls over, loses the ball for a second time. Fernandes, left-hand side of the area. Garnacho shown on the outside with the cutback. Fernandes with a shot, takes a deflection, that could have gone anywhere. And instead it was screwed over the top of the crossbar and landed on the roof of the net as Manchester United, urged on by this capacity crowd here at Old Trafford, get a corner kick. 0-0.
That literally could have gone anywhere off Robin Proper. It was cut back by Garnacho. Garnacho, lovely little piece of play down the left-hand side, gets to the bar and he looks up and he picks out Bruno Fernandes 10 yards out on the side foot. It's looking like it's heading for the far right-hand corner, in between Robin Proper's legs, up and over the bar. Could have gone anywhere.
Eriksen to take the corner kick in front of the Stretford end. Butland hasn't got there, and the ball has ended up in the back of the net. It was a complete hash of that, and it's gone right in. They've gone straight across to take the corner kick from Eriksen, because it actually has come off a fist of Jack Butland, who slams his hands in frustration. What an unhappy return to Old Trafford. Eriksen will claim the assist, but it's a Butland own goal as Manchester United lead by 1-0.
Yeah, he's made a real mess of that one, Jack Butland, the Rangers goalkeeper. for as good as he was in the first half. He certainly won't want to be seeing that one back again. It was just a simple in-swinging corner by Christian Eriksen. It's a packed 6-yard box. Again, the red shirts pile up at the far post, make the way to the near post. Butland makes the decision to come, and he punches the ball, but he punches the underneath of the ball. He punches the ball with backspin, and he punches it over his own head into his own net. It's a really poor punch by Jack Butland. He has the confidence and the conviction to come for the ball, but his contact with the ball isn't there. His contact's underneath the ball. His knuckles skim the bottom of the ball, which puts backspin on the ball. It goes over his head and drops into his own goal.
Well, you've got to feel for him, because that's just one of those mistakes that you cannot legislate for.
It's just the contact on the ball. He's made the decision to come. He's made the decision to come over the top of the defenders, the strikers. Just at the last minute, the contact with the ball. It's underneath the ball, not in the middle of the ball. And the ball contact puts backspin on it, and it loops up and over his own head. A really unfortunate one for Jack Butland.
Manchester United then are ahead. And all those statistics about in the Premier League when they've conceded on 8 occasions in the last 9 games in the English top flight. That opening goal can be put to bed. That familiar feeling not happening here in Europe. Instead, they're looking to extend their unbeaten run in the Europa League as well. Here is Fernandes. Fernandes chips the ball through. Ahmed with a flick. Acrobatic finish, couldn't keep it down. 6 yards out, over the top, goal kick. Manchester United still lead by a goal to nil.
Yeah, playing better, Manchester United. Lovely little interchange. Dalot this time into infield, into Fernandes. Probably too much of a straight pass into Ahmad. Would have been offside. Can't quite bring the ball under control. It's bouncing. He tries the little overhead kick up and over the bar. The assistant on the far side has got the flag up for offside. He was well offside looking at the replay. But again, Manchester United just looking a little bit more confident since that goal's gone in.
And certainly the Manchester United fans have found their voices as well. It's much more of a deafening atmosphere being generated by the home support. For the first time, I think, tonight, I actually can hardly hear the Rangers fans to our right, with the exception of that beating drum that they brought down from Scotland, as Manchester United are going to make a change. They've actually only got 7 outfield players named as substitutes, and Malacia is going to be coming on. A rare run out for him, as he will be coming onto the field of play. And the player who is going off is going to be Lenny Yoro.
Yeah, changed by Ruben Amorim there. Just looking at the whether it's going to change any shape. He sits in there, well, on the left of the 3. It's looking like Malacia. Dalot on the right-hand side, Maguire in the middle, Martinez to the left of Maguire, and Malacia on this left-hand side. So he looks like he's going to drop into, is it the left-hand side, the left wing-back position, or the left of the 3? No, he's going to play the left of the 3, isn't he, Malacia?
Yeah. So Rangers trail coming forward. Yilmaz is not in full control of the ball. It wouldn't run with him. He had to stop, check back on the halfway line. In the live league table now, that goal, that Jack Butland own goal, has propelled Manchester United to 4th in the table. So all of a sudden they would be looking still with a chance of actually finishing in the top 2, which would be hugely significant. And for Rangers in 14th, it's probably going to consign Rangers to the playoffs, and they've got a very, very tall order now to get into the top 8 and automatic progression into the knockout stages.
Well, Manchester United up to 4th, doesn't that change the complex of the game next week for them in Romania?
Yes, it does.
You know, the last game, going to what used to be Steaua Bucharest, obviously a very good team at home, but now it places a lot more importance on that trip for Manchester United.
It's a game you'll be able to listen to on BBC Radio 5 Live next Thursday, as Fernandes spreads it out towards Ahmed. Showed too much though to Jeff Teague. Hurried clearance, left-footed. We remember Rangers never scored in 4 previous meetings, still trailing then here as Højlund and Mainu are warming up. Yoro, we'll be hoping that's not a serious injury for him, bearing in mind that it took him time to make his debut. He was ruled out for 3 months of the season after injury in pre-season. So tonight was actually only his 11th appearance since he arrived for the club. Malacia is on, but Manchester United now, as we approach the hour mark, are 1-0 up. The deadlock has been broken as Eriksen chases after Robin Prupper on that far side. His back pass towards Butland, who was a little slow to react, but he got there, and Prupper should clear and gets a throw off the legs of Eriksson. Just a little bit more jittery second half.
I think they've struggled from the start of the second half. Rangers obviously losing 2 players and having to have the reshuffle, the 2 substitutions that they were forced into. Tavernier not being as free running down that right hand side, obviously now playing as a centre half. The formation change, the personnel change, they've not been the same team as what finished the first half, Rangers.
The other significance as well, even if Manchester United can't get to the top 2, even if they were to finish, say, 3rd and 4th, and Lazio and Athletic Bilbao are in the top 2, they couldn't face them 2 sides until the semi-finals. So this seeding system is certainly going to have a great deal of significance when we come to the knockout stages, as Cherney now has gone down and the problems are mounting for Rangers and Philippe Clement.
Yeah, and the 4th official below us is already holding up Cherney's number, so he's obviously carrying an injury now. Cherney's gone down, he's receiving treatment from the physio and the doctor on the pitch, but actually Rangers' most productive player, arguably their best player of the season, he's gone down and he's having to come off, and they're going to have to make yet another substitution.
Finlay Curtis will replace him, as we will replace the voice of Paul Robinson with that of Sarah Mulkerrins.
It is 60 minutes gone here at the racecourse. It's Wrexham 1, Birmingham City 1. This game has kicked up another gear in the second half. Wrexham have come out after the break full of energy and intent. They're pressing well. George Dobson had a shot free, edge of the tee, saved by Allsop. Birmingham, though, are threatening at the other end. There's more goals in this. It's Wrexham 1, Birmingham 1.
Thank you, Sarah. Finlay Curtis coming on to replace Cherney. One of Rangers' best players this season. Not a good sight to see him actually hobbling down the touchline and straight to the dressing room. So he's going to get treatment there in the Rangers dressing room as Finlay Curtis, another 18-year-old coming on off the bench. He made his debut in the Cup at the weekend against Fraserburgh and actually started out as a striker before moving into midfield. So his second appearance. But quite naturally a lot of concern for the injured players for Rangers tonight.
Well, listen, what a great opportunity it is for these youngsters to get an opportunity on this big stage in a game like this against Manchester United and show what they can do. But actually for Rangers it's just another blow, isn't it? Cherney, probably, like we said, been one of the best players. They're literally down to the bare bones at the moment, Rangers.
Malacia shuffles the ball to Garnacho, cuts in off the left touchline, runs inside, thought about the shot, right-footed, still going, backheels the ball. Fernandez puts his right foot on it, then chips it out towards Dallo. Dallo comes inside, nicks it then forward to Eriksson, able to turn, shifts it into the penalty area. Amad Diallo with the ball at his feet, looks to go on the outside, looks to the cutback, it's going to fall to Garnacho. Comes back off the post, left-footed. Seemed to go the wrong way for goal, did Alejandro Garnacho. That looked like a certain second goal for Manchester United.
It's a lovely play down the right-hand side by Amad again. He gets all the way to the byline. And Garnacho, he looks like he's wrong-footed, Jack Butland. He reverses it on his left foot. And whether it's come off Propper's head or the post, but somehow between Propper and the post, they get it away.
Here is Garnacho, played in by Malacia. Cut back. I think you're right, it might have been... my initial reaction thought it might have been the post that kept it out. But I think it was Robin Prupper who's just got there and headed it away first.
He's tucked in behind Jack Butland as Jack Butland's moving across his goal. Tucked in behind his goalkeeper, and it does look like it was Prupper who got there and made the block right on the line. Hanging on at the moment, Rangers.
Why did he go back across where the ball's come from and not open up the left foot and put it in what looked like an easier opportunity to the left of the goal?
I think Yilmaz was closing him down from that side, just closed his space. Garnacho decided to have a first touch 7 yards out, got it stuck a little bit under his feet, so could only really go that way, dig it out with his left foot. Credit to him, he got it on target, but more credit to Robin Prupper, got himself back on the line, and he's kept his team in this game.
You're right, though Rangers are hanging in there at the moment. Manchester United supporters sense it as well, the incessant chanting from the Stretford end. 62 minutes in, BBC Radio 5 Live. Whilst we hand to Tony Livesey at 10 o'clock tonight, there will be reflections and reaction from this day of Europa League, the penultimate day of this league phase in the Europa League on the 5 Live Football Daily feed. And tomorrow there will be the latest episode of the Commentator's View as well, which will be recorded in the morning to set you up ahead of our weekend coverage that will start at Molineux from 3 o'clock. Wolves Arsenal, Manchester City Chelsea, and then on Sunday Spurs Leicester at 2, Palace Brentford on Sports Extra, and Aston Villa against West Ham United will be the 4:30 commentary. So a lot of live football to look forward to over the weekend, as there has been this midweek in Europe, and will continue next week for the final concluding set of games in the league phase of the Champions League on Wednesday and Europa League on Thursday. Manchester United, who lead by a goal to nil. Eriksen has a free kick, right-footed, Butland stretching for that, and off his outstretched left hand it will run away off the knuckles of that hand and go behind for a corner kick.
Do you know what? Fair play to Jack Butland. That's possibly one that he maybe shouldn't have come for. Comes out, makes a brave decision after just what's happened to him, punching at his own net, gets there before defenders and attackers, gets a clean fist on it and punches it away. That'll put some of the doubts to bed.
Manchester United looking to build on the lead that they have. Diallo to take the corner kick on that far side, the right. Hits it, it's an in-swinger. Rangers will try and break with McCausland. And then there was a foul in the midfield, and that will be Rangers free kick. But there's a Manchester United player who's currently down, and at the minute, because of Tavernier, it's Eriksen who's down. I was partly seated for a moment.
Yeah, I think it was the coming together in the challenge, but he conceded the free kick. I think he just collided with a stray boot on his way down. He's okay, he's up. Was it Ross McCausland brought him down, and as the two pair came together, McCausland brought his right boot down, but his right boot came down, and as it came down the side of Christian Eriksen's face.
64 minutes in. Rangers looking just to remain in the tie, and then maybe, who knows, what they can muster at the other end. But they haven't troubled Manchester United as of yet in this second half, and we've been playing now for 64 minutes as Eriksen plays it back. And with the injuries that Rangers have had to change, double change at half-time, they've then since lost Cherney as well. A little bit bedraggled at this stage are Rangers as Martinez comes forward over the halfway line. Ahmad continues to provide the width on that right. Instead they go to Garnacho, who then slips. Well, I thought he'd slipped. Was that a foul?
I think he has slipped, but the referee stopped the game because Garnacho gave out a yelp of pain, but I don't think there's anybody around him. Martinez plays the ball into him, running up against his defender, and he does inadvertently, he just slips. Legs completely akimbo, slips with his right ankle, goes to ground, and the referee's given a free kick, much to everyone's amazement. I don't think he was touched there, Garnacho, was he?
No. So they have got a free kick, near side the left, 25 yards out from goal, about a foot in from the touchline, in front of the main stand as Manchester United play from right to left as we look. They lead by a goal to nil. We're approaching the midway point of the second half. Eriksen curls this in. Maguire coming in at the far post, downward header, wide. Should have been 2-0, didn't hit the target.
Oh, he's got to score. He has got to score, Harry Maguire. That is a wonderful free kick by Christian Eriksen. Almost on this near touchline, flighted in, almost inch perfectly, 6 yards out, curling in. Harry Maguire doesn't quite get a connection on it. Completely free header at the far post, doesn't get a connection. It glances across his forehead, goes wide of the far post. There would be a question whether he was offside or not. There looked to be a few Manchester United players offside, but he didn't know that at the time. He should have scored, Harry Maguire. That should have gone in the back of the net for Manchester United.
This game should be put to bed by Manchester United, but it's not. They still lead, but they are looking like the side who will score again. Ahmad comes on the inside, breaks towards Eriksen, chips it in over the head of Xerxes, headed out by Tavernier, now playing as a central defender, Malacia. But it just feels as if our heads have been turned to the left-hand side for the majority of this second half so far.
Yeah, they've been strong, Manchester United, in the second half. You can see there has been a drop-off in Rangers' performances because of the substitutions they've had to make. And I think one big thing, Ian, is Tavernier. I think they've lost his impetus down the right-hand side, his forward running. There was a real threat down the right-hand side in the first half with his crosses, with his balls into the front players. Actually, now he's playing as centre-half with Yilmaz as right-back. They do look a little bit imbalanced, but Manchester United have certainly been better in this second half.
Yeah, undoubtedly the injuries have disrupted Rangers, no question. Midway through the second half, BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds, where Manchester United have the lead. Garnacho turns in field, blonde-haired Collier gives it straight towards McCausland. And now he gives Igerman something to chase as that shuffling running action makes his way out towards that far side, the left, keeps the ball in play. Royal Blue Shirts come forward. Curtis tries to get there, but he was always on the stretch and always struggling to keep hold of the ball, was the teenager. And then Collier it is who tidies up, and Manchester United have it once more.
They've struggled to get any kind of grip on possession in this second half, Rangers. OK, granted they didn't have a lot in the first half, but when they did, they were able to keep the ball for short periods, get the ball up into Manchester United's half, create themselves some chances. But at the moment, Bayinda, other than that save early on in the second half, low down to his left-hand side from Cherney, has been a mere spectator. Manchester United dominating possession.
Manchester United, with their supporters in full voice, lead 1-0. Martinez carries the ball over the halfway line, midway through the Rangers' half. The Rangers fans, to their credit, are still offering their team vocal support too. Garnacho's cross, twisting header away by Jefty, picked up by Fernandez. Ahmed makes the run, cut out well by McCausland, dropped to one knee, but he was alert as that ball was aimed to go through the inside right channel of the penalty area. Barami. Rangers need to try and get on the ball a little bit more, have a sustained spell of possession in this second half. Proper was almost caught in possession there by Xerxes. Tavernier clears it long. Yilmaz, chance to come forward. And his ball aimed towards Curtis, cut out by Martinez. They just look a little lightweight now going forward, Rangers.
They do, and with Yilmaz on his right-hand side, I know he's filled here many times before, but not naturally a right footer.
Tavernier is forward as he carries the ball out of defence. Curtis now has it on this near side. He waits. Dessers is going to be coming on, the striker. Here is Rice, left-footed cross into the penalty area. Causland will only head it tamely in towards Bayinda. So we talk about that lightweight attack. Cyril Dessers, the Nigerian international, will be coming on. Can often be a frustrating figure for Rangers supporters. He can often miss more than he can score, but they need to try and pep up that attack as they look for an equaliser.
Yeah, I think there's talk of him potentially moving on in this window if Rangers are to maybe restructure. There's a lot of value in Dessers. I think he's got a good reputation. Not long ago was the Eredivisie Golden Boot winner, I think. And I think there's clubs around Europe that are looking quite fondly at him. Falling behind Igerman and Danilo at times in this Rangers lineup. But again, he's not letting him affect him. He comes off the bench and he does a really good job, gets his goals.
22 goals last season, 16 this. His start at the weekend in the Cup was only his second start in the last 15 games. But Cyril Dessers will be coming on as the Rangers fans with that brilliant backing once again. And who's going to be coming off? It's going to be Barami. So they're going to go two up front. Two up top, you would think, Paul.
Yeah, I think that will be a more orthodox 4-4-2 from Philippe Clement. Definitely now with Igermane and Dessers on the field. They might start going a little bit more direct, but listen, what have they got to lose? We're entering the 71st minute of the game. They're still in this game. They're only one down. Granted, possession-wise, they're not in the game, but scoreline-wise, they very much are.
Tavernier forward, stopped by the edge of the D. Igerman chips the ball forward. Raskan with a header and cleared away as it dropped inside the six-yard area by Dalot. Break on for Manchester United, shows too much of it and stopped by Rice, and then his heavy touch goes all the way through to Bayinda as we'll go to Wrexham and Sarah Mulkerrins.
Changes are being made, but it's still Wrexham 1, Birmingham City 1. Keshi Anderson is on for the visitors. He's made an instant impact, showing his pace. Really nice run down the right-hand side. His cross, though, evaded the onrushing Birmingham attackers as Wrexham just put an effort wide. This is end-to-end stuff. It's Wrexham 1, Birmingham 1.
Ugarte and Mainu are going to be the players coming on. That's the difference between the two sides. You look at Rangers, they've been forced to bring on teenagers, inexperienced players when they've been hit by injury. As the ball by Yilmaz to Butland did just have enough legs for Butland to have a right-footed swipe of that and get the ball clear. Tavernier playing as a central defender, hits the ball out towards McCausland on that far side, and yet Rangers are still in it. Only a goal down as McCausland keeps the ball in play over on that left-hand side. And how long do we have left? We have 18 minutes remaining of normal time here on 5 Live. and BBC Sounds.
And the longer this game goes, the more Rangers will believe that they've got a chance. You know, they get forward, they get a set play, they get an opportunity. Manchester United making the changes. It's a real pivotal point in the game now. Do Manchester United stick or bust? Do they go and try and get that second goal with the risk of leaving themselves slightly vulnerable? Or do they shut up shop and believe that they can get to the final whistle and secure a 1-0 win? But as I say, the longer it stays 1-0, Rangers are always in this game.
I thought maybe that Yilmaz had been fouled for a push from behind by Malacia, but as it is, it went out for a throw. So, young Toby Collier, after his European debut, it's lasted just over 70 minutes. He's going to come off, Ugarte will come on, and then the other change is going to be Kobbie Mainoo coming on. And as Kobbie Mainoo comes on, it'll be Christian Eriksen who departs.
Very much like for like substitutions there. Eriksen off, Ugarte on, Collier off, Mainoo on. Freshening it up a little bit, Ruben Amorim. We know that he's not going to change system, only personnel, so system will stay the same, and he'll be looking for his side to get the cushion of that second goal, if not see this game out.
Malacia with the throw on this near side. He's giving it straight out of play for another throw, but it's this time to Rangers. Careless.
They'll be nervy in Manchester United because of recent displays, recent performances, especially here at home. The expectation does weigh heavy, and they'll be nervy the longer this goes.
Here is Igerman, right-hand side of the penalty area, holds off the challenge of Mainoo, who still snaps away. Igerman does well to try and wriggle free, works over the cross into the penalty area, comes towards Shetty, who shoots left-footed, but it was straight at by Inder. 1-0 to Manchester United.
Yeah, good belief again by Igerman down this right-hand side, shows strength, shows power to hold off Mainoo, gets the cross into the box, it goes across everybody, ends up with Jeffy 12 yards out on the edge of the box, hits a strike on the half volley, dropped harmlessly in front of Bayenda, bounces into his arms, but you know, Rangers now just creeping into this.
Yeah, and we'll see how it affects the atmosphere as well, with 16 minutes remaining. Manchester United, who've had the chances in the second half to have had a much larger lead than the one goal that they currently have, but those chances were squandered, not taken. As Dalot, his forward ball, stopped by McCausland, up in the air it goes. Prupper then gets a foot into the challenge, falls to Igerman. Igerman has Dessers with him, and coming onto that was Curtis, but his left-footed shot was a weak one. Didn't strike it cleanly enough, and Bayenda with a comfortable save.
No, but again, we're looking to our right-hand side. Rangers with the two up top now. They're setting the press high with Igerman and Dessers there. You can see they're clearly playing a 4-4-2 formation, getting the ball forward as often as they can. And once again, the noise inside Old Trafford, it's dropped. You know, they're like the fans, we've been here before. It's not going to happen again, surely.
Yeah, they not really had much to cheer about of late. Just one win in their last 8 games since mid-December, and Rangers now are probably having their best spell of the second half. Ball forward, Dessers is after it, and with his pace he gets there, and he's having a bit of a tussle with Maguire, but Maguire shows his strength and safely manages the ball behind for a goal kick.
Well, he's running a tight line there. Maguire could quite easily give away a penalty. Dessers gives him 5-yard start, but he still gets there in front of Harry Maguire. Dessers puts his body in between ball and man. Maguire kind of manhandles him on his way out, puts the ball out for a corner, sees it out, but Dessers is going to be a problem. Running on the shoulder of Maguire like that, looking for the ball down the side. The pace that they've both got, these two front men now, could be a problem for Harry Maguire.
Looks like Rangers will be having to deal with the playoffs in the Europa League. Manchester United, though, meanwhile, looking good for a place in the last 16 and avoiding those playoffs, with 14 minutes remaining, with a scoreline of Manchester United 1, Rangers 0. As Bayenda, in his all goalkeeping green outfit, away towards our right, plays it to Martinez. Malacia stays forward, gets away from young Curtis, infield. Ugarte closed down by Raskan. Maguire again was alert, got there before Dessers could. Here is Ugarte once again. Does work in mysterious ways, football, as Ahmad tries to get away. Ahmad with a shot on the volley, screws it off target, sliced it right-footed, well wide, goal kick, 1-0 still United.
It's just a long ball over the top from Manchester United. Martinez with his left foot, hopeful ball over the top. Ahmad keeps himself onside, uses his strength on Proper, falls on Ahmad's unfavoured right foot. He catches it with the outside of his right foot. Not a clean strike at all. But you do feel that Manchester United need the comfort and the comfort blanket of this second goal. Because the longer this game goes, like we say, Rangers are getting more and more into this. And Manchester United are fragile. They're a nervous team at the moment.
If you think back to those quality games that Rangers had with Leeds United in '92 in the Champions League, certainly hasn't had the quality of those two duels at Ibrox or indeed at Ellen Road. As Manchester United still lead by a 1-0. Indeed, that win in West Yorkshire will be Rangers' only success when they've come south of the border in their history. As here is Ugarte spinning, trying to turn away, loses the ball. Dessers can come forward. Dessers has only got Iggerman with him. He tries to stay onside. Dessers then tried to play it out towards Curtis on this near field. There's a lot of the challenges going on, and Fernandes hits the ball into to Raskan. And they have a little word with each other. Raskan is the type of player who would relish that sort of bit of niggle.
Oh, he's been brilliant this season. Raskan has won possession more than any other player in the Europa League. 98 times, more than 12 times in 3 games. His stats for Rangers this season are incredible.
Since coming into the side in October, he's certainly been one of their best players. Signed him from Standard Liège 2 years ago. Nicolas Raskan, the 23-year-old Belgian midfielder. Manchester United, though, with just over 10 minutes remaining. Here is Mainu, comes to a standstill. Back with Martinez. Mainu, the England international. Xerxes, we've hardly mentioned his name. He came short, but played out towards Malacia. Malacia on this near side, the left. Mainu, right-footed, ball towards Fernandes. Side onto goal. Malacia to Garnacho. Garnacho left corner of the area. Has 2 royal blue shirts in front of him. Curtis was one of them. Fernandes now will come inside off this left touchline to Dalot, who's in a central area. Along the ground, out towards Ahmed, always running on his toes and going on the outside. And then there was a foul there, and that actually might result in the first yellow card of the evening. And indeed, GFT is booked.
Yeah, Ahmad's pace again on the right-hand side for Manchester United. He isolates Jefty one-on-one this time, puts a big touch around the corner. Jefty's quite clever, he just stands in the way. He knows that he's not going to catch Ahmad, takes a booking, concedes a free kick in a dangerous area. One for Manchester United to deliver into the box. And actually, when you think about it, Ian, the possession that Manchester United have had in this game and in this second half, they've not really forced any saves from Jack Butland other than the goal. Propper's cleared one off the line, but actually for their dominance with possession, again, it's probably been a slightly lacklustre performance in the final third.
Yeah, well, they got a free kick. This, with 10 minutes remaining, if they could get the second goal, would really put it to bed. Fernandes, the captain, stands over it, right corner of the area, playing from right to left. Rangers have got every royal blue shirt back inside the area. Fernandes, flat ball in, good save by Butland. It was Xerxes who hit it goalwards, and Butland with a reflex save, diving back down towards his near left-hand post, turned it behind for a corner.
Really is a good save by Jack Butland. Fantastic reflex save, great delivery in. Header at the near post, and Butland diving away to his left. It's Ugarte who dives full length at the near post. It's headed that quickly, the ball's behind Butland. Butland dives backwards and he's still able to get it round the post. Really good save, Jack Butland.
Corner kick to Manchester United. The angle that we had looked like it was going to be an outstretched right leg of Xerxes, but it was the diving header by Ugarte. Butland made the save. Corner kick for Manchester United. They go deep towards the far post. Headed away by Iggerman. Referee has spotted an infringement, and that will be a free kick. You know, many a time we've sat here with the great late Jimmy Armfield at this commentary position for BBC Radio 5 Live here, and yesterday marked 7 years since he passed away. A true legend, a true gent, and so to Duncan and the rest of the family, he's still missed. As Xerxes comes off the field of play, and Højlund comes on to replace him with some 8 minutes remaining.
Just can't decide, Amar and County, between Højlund and Xerxes. When either of them start, neither really put their hand up and say, pick me every week. And Xerxes today, I mean, the lack of times that we've put his name into commentary and we spoke about him shows the lack of involvement that he's had in the game today. I think he's been poor tonight, Joshua Xerxes. He hasn't really got himself involved in any way.
9 without a goal for Rasmus Højlund since he scored against Victoria Pilsen in this competition in mid-December. Manchester United with 8 minutes remaining, leading 1-0. Malacia waiting to take the throw. When you said at the end of the first half that the game was just bubbling and waiting to take off, from a neutral's point of view, it's never taken off.
Are we still waiting? We're on the runway, aren't we? I think the engines have gone down to a murmur as well, haven't they?
Ball played forward. Dessers could be onto this. Dessers lifts the ball goalwards and comes back off the base of the right-hand post. And Rangers cannot come any closer to their first goal against Manchester United.
Oh, it's better again from Rangers down this right-hand side. Lovely little bit of play, lifted over the top into the path of Dessers. It's Bailey Rice on his left foot, plays it into the path of Dessers. Bayindir comes running out, Dessers lifts it over him. Everyone's expecting to see the net bulge, and it hits the outside of the post and falls the wrong way for those of a blue persuasion. It's a lovely ball from Bailey Rice over the top to Dessers. He may have been offside, would have had a VAR check. Bayindir comes running out, lifts it over the top of him, and it hits the outside of the post and goes harmlessly wide for a goal kick.
Those frailties for Manchester United were exposed. I think you're right. I think it might well have been ruled out for offside. They haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 12 of Manchester United, and only one clean sheet in their last 15. But it's certainly fired up the travelling support away towards our right. 6 minutes remaining of normal time. Butland plays it out of defence. Tavernier closed down by Garnacho. And it will be a Rangers throw deep inside their own half, which Yilmaz, I think, was trying to advance and being a little cheeky down the touch line on this near side. Little bit of respite though for Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, you'd think now that Rangers, any opportunities that they're going to get, they're going to have to go longer. The clock isn't on their side, but the opportunity there by Dessers will give them that little bit of belief.
Here is Fernandes, 30 yards out from goal, central position. Manchester United now attacking on the right. Ahmad comes in field, plays it towards Mainu. To Fernandes, right side of the penalty area. Fernandes with a cut back, might reach Mainu. No, it won't. Just touched away by the youngster. Bailey Rice out of play. It will go for a Manchester United throw on the right. 5 minutes of normal time remaining. There will be at least 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time, as here is Martinez inside the centre circle. Malacia in front of the main stand now with Garnacho. Philippe Clement is urging his Royal Blue shirt, so those players just to push on out, don't sit too deep, try and go after Manchester United. That was the best effort they've had in this second half. Ball over the top towards Højlund, and a little slip by Malacia, who'd made a diagonal run in from the left touchline. Rangers put the ball out of play. It's a Manchester United throw midway through the Rangers half.
Yeah, they don't want to leave here tonight, Rangers, feeling it was an opportunity missed. You know, they don't want to sit back, defend too deeply, get the ball forward now. They're clearly very quickly running out of time. But the players that they've got on the pitch, you know, they've been decimated by injuries, the players that they've got missing. But actually the way that they've set up tonight, the way that they've worked hard as a unit, they'll be pleased with this team so far, Philippe Clement. And if they can get the goal and get some points.
Mistake by Ugarte, almost let in McCausland. Ugarte recovered the ball. Ahmad now cuts inside. He's a man on a mission, he's Ahmad, but he runs into trouble. And Raskan breaks up that move, and then his misplaced pass. There was a foul by Malacia on Igerman. No, the referee says not. Igerman drops to his knees in astonishment. Can't believe that. Philippe Clement argues with the fourth official. Garnacho, meanwhile, cuts inside. Beaten out by Butland. Right-footed, around knee height. Butland pushed the ball away two-handed. Rangers will certainly feel that sense of injustice had that gone in, because that looked like a free kick on Igerman all day long.
As you can hear, the Rangers fans away to our right-hand side, they're in total agreement with you. Igerman did look like he was just about to get there in front of Malacia. Malacia swiped the legs of the Rangers striker, and then Manchester United went down to the other end. Garnacho it was again, cutting in on his right-hand side. Low shot down to Jack Butland's left-hand side, curling into that far corner. Butland makes another good save.
If Rangers do not score, we will never find out how many of them are dotted, their supporters dotted elsewhere around the country, around the ground rather, here at Old Trafford tonight. Many, I'm sure, are incognito. certainly not the 100 who are to the left of the segregation away towards our right. But I remember when Galatasaray came here and played Manchester United recently, and then all of a sudden when Galatasaray scored, you could see actually how many Galatasaray supporters were inside Old Trafford, as an attendance of 73,288 is confirmed here this evening. And Rangers are going to make another attacking change. Zach Lovelace is going to be coming on. What a great name that is, Zach Lovelace, who they... it's his 19th birthday today, and he's going to get a run out at Old Trafford. So he's a striker. And the teenager coming on, signed him from Millwall back in 2022. So he's going to come on for what will be his 7th appearance for the club, in a bid to just try and score a late goal as the ball is hit high and downfield. Maguire can't get there. Dessers with a shot! Dessers with the finish! Rangers' first ever goal against Manchester United with 2 minutes remaining, and he took it so sweetly. A high ball downfield. Maguire didn't deal with it. Dessers did. 1-1.
What a brilliant finish by Dessers, and those fans away to our right hand side are going absolutely crazy. It's a long ball over the top from Tavernier. Harry Maguire gets it all wrong, misjudges the flight, gets a nudge from Dessers. He doesn't wait to hang around. It's a great first touch from Dessers, and he smashes it half volley on the left foot into Bayenda's bottom left hand corner, and Rangers are back in this. Harry Maguire's moaning, he's talking to the referee, he feels he was fouled. It was a brilliant finish by Dessers.
And the pockets of Rangers fans you now can see elsewhere around Old Trafford. There are quite a number of them in the top tier in the Manchester United end, above where the Rangers travelling support are celebrating wildly, and no wonder. What a sweet strike that was.
Well, we've got a VAR check going on here. 1 for the offside for the initial ball over the top, and 2 whether there was a nudge in the back of Harry Maguire.
No,
Manchester United are really hoping that this VAR check goes in their favour.
Well,
but from a Rangers point of view, it's a brilliant finish by Dessers. What a finish on the half volley into the bottom corner of the goal.
That would be extremely harsh. It was hardly a touch on Maguire.
Hardly a touch on Maguire, and it looked onside to the naked eye. We're waiting, we've got a VAR check while there's a substitute being made by Rangers. But what a finish that is from Cyril Dessers.
They were going to bring on Lovelace, but they've changed it. Instead, it's going to be Leon King, who's a defender. He's only made 3 appearances this season. He will come on for Yilmaz, so that will just try to shore things up at the back for Rangers. Dessers waits. I'll tell you what, the goal stands 1-1. What a dramatic finish. Cyril Dessers, and all of a sudden Rangers now go in search of a win. McCausland, 5 minutes have added on time. Dessers was played in again there. The place would have gone absolutely berserk in the Rangers end if Rangers can fashion a late winner. Manchester United will rue the missed opportunities as Garnacho is held off by Tavernier. Tavernier just had too much desire. And I mentioned that Manchester United hadn't kept that clean sheet in their last 12. So it proves. But what a finish as Igerman tries to switch it out towards McCausland. They stayed in the game. Manchester United should have been out of sight. Ball played forward, up towards Curtis, downward header, and Maguire just wasn't strong enough.
I said to you about a nervous team, I said to you about a team that were out of confidence, a team that were fragile, and that's what Manchester United were. And they looked susceptible at times, and that long ball forward over the top caught Harry Maguire out, and those Rangers fans to our right, wow, absolute scenes over to our right hand side.
And the consequence of that equaliser, Manchester United were 4th in the Live League table. They now drop out of the top 8, and it means that they are 9th, whereas Rangers are 11th, and they will have a realistic chance of automatic qualification for the last 16. Next Thursday, as well as next Wednesday, promises to be very lively on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 1-1. We're into the 5 minutes of added on time. Arriving is Fernandes. Cross put in from the left-hand side. Manchester United are back in front to silence the Rangers support. Bruno Fernandes, the captain. Martinez with the cross, and Fernandes running in. just outside the 6-yard area, re-establishes the United lead. 2-1.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant by Manchester United. And it's yet again Bruno Fernandes. Martinez goes out the back with the ball, and it's a lovely ball by Lisandro Martinez across the back of the Rangers back four. And Fernandes arriving late, times his run to perfection, keeps himself onside, takes it on the volley with a side foot, smashes it past Jack Butland, and he's just rescued what's seemingly the most unlikely of 3 points for Manchester United. Brilliant delivery by Martinez and a fantastic finish by Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes, the captain, popping up with his 9th goal of the season. You know when you said about it been bubbling?
Oh, it's there.
We've got takeoff late on.
The lid's off, and the noise inside Old Trafford is absolutely incredible. Those that decided to leave early, I suspect they'll be making their way back in. The noise to our right's gone very, very quiet, but the rest of the stadium now, the noise inside this place in the last 10 minutes has been incredible.
Went through the legs of Jack Butland, didn't it?
It was too much, the pace. It was just the pace from Bruno Fernandes. The ball from Martinez was absolutely inch perfect. Fernandes didn't have to break his stride, hit it on the volley, and it was the pace that did Jack Butland.
Great noise inside Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Rangers 1. Ahmed coming forward. How he would love to get on the score sheet tonight for Manchester United. And by my watch, we've got about 90 seconds remaining of normal time. You can see pictures of a smiling Sir Alex Ferguson. What was that expression about football, bloody football? Martinez midway through his own half, and Maguire will be feeling a little relieved as well. Malacia near side, down the line, headed forward for Rangers, picked up by Mainu, and then Ugarte spreads it out. This is the loudest that Old Trafford's been all night by the home support.
All season, by the way.
Ahmed coming forward now. Ahmed coming, just couldn't get the shot away. Stopped by Raskan. Raskan had his shirt pulled. Referee went to blow his whistle. It will be a free kick, even though McCausland had picked it up. They never had time to establish themselves after that equaliser, Rangers.
That's one thing you say about these Manchester United supporters. They've never left the side of this team the whole season. Through the results, through the poor results, they've stuck by the side, and they're getting some just reward tonight. But as we always say, you're at your most susceptible when you've just scored. Point proven.
The last 30 seconds remaining. Manchester United have got a free kick. Højlund was fouled inside the centre circle. As the line of stewards and police now are visible, certainly in that end away towards our right-hand side. Manchester United, just when it looked like they'd squandered the lead and they were going to throw away the 3 points, and they'd slip from 4th to 9th as Ahmed cuts in now into the penalty area. Ahmed still going, couldn't get the shot away. It means they're back 4th once more and looking maybe to finish as the top 2 seeds. They will have Eintracht Frankfurt in their sights. Lazio they cannot catch, the league leaders, but they could certainly maybe overhaul Athletic Bilbao or Eintracht Frankfurt. Nevertheless, automatic qualification looks theirs for the last 16. Unless something dramatic even happens even more as Curtis stepping out of defence with Maguire. By my watch, the 5 minutes are up. When the referee, the Belgian official, blows his whistle, you will know with the loud cheers that Manchester United have extended their unbeaten run in the Europa League this season. As Rice hits a ball forward, Dessers tried to roll away from Martinez. He was too strong for him. Fernandes says, I'm in control of this, calm down, keeps hold of the ball, runs into the centre circle and holds onto it, the Manchester United captain. The winning goal, the decisive goal, as Manchester United lead 2-1 here on 5 Live. 6 minutes of injury time have now been played. Manchester United leaving their domestic troubles behind them here in the Europa League. As the ball is played towards Fernandes, he came to a standstill, he now runs forward, holds off Raskan, and there is the full-time whistle. Manchester United remain unbeaten in the Europa League, and just when it seemed that Cyril Dessert, who'd earlier hit the post for Rangers, had salvaged a last-gasp equaliser, Bruno Fernandes running in with an injury time winner. They've beaten Rangers 2-1. Paul Robinson.
Well, that was worth coming, wasn't it? I think we had a very average first half, but the second half was a really good game. Listen, it's not Manchester United in top gear, but I think the big important thing for Manchester United at the moment is results. It's not how you get in results. Performances are important, but for them it's results. You know, they've got to climb up the table, progress in Europe. I think a draw tonight, given the amount of possession that they had, the dominance that they had in the game, if they hadn't got all 3 points tonight, there'd have been more questions asked. Actually, the way that Cyril Dessers took his goal was incredible. The Rangers fans erupted to our right. They thought they'd got the most unlikeliest of points, a complete smash and grab. But then Bruno Fernandes was there again. Again, not a brilliant performance by Manchester United, but result all important.
And it's finished here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Rangers 1. Steve.
Sir Alex Ferguson applauds in the stand away to our left-hand side. His former number 2 at Manchester United, René Merlenstein, has been with us all evening. René, Bruno Fernandes really dug him out there, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely, as he's done on many occasions. I mean, the sting was really in the game, but I think Manchester United had only themselves to blame. The game, you know, they should have been put to bed much earlier. They were dominating, and with the changes that Rangers had to make, they didn't carry any threat forward after Czerny went off. But when Dessers came in, they went a little bit more direct, and it's one of the best goals you're going to see in the whole Europa League campaign. I don't think Maguire covered himself in glory, but Dessers, great touch, and certainly you think Rangers are going to come away with 1 point. And then again, as so often we've seen that again, then Man United can still click into a different gear. Great cross for Martinez and a fantastic finish through Butland's legs, and like Paul just said rightly so, it's all about the results. It's all about winning for United to put a little bit of a smile back on their faces.
Rangers players all in blue away to our right hand side, just walking towards their supporters, who are still incredibly loud here, applauding them for their efforts in the game. The Rangers fans, Paul Robinson, were singing and bouncing all night.
Have not stopped since about 12 o'clock this afternoon in Manchester City Centre. They've been brilliant. They've thoroughly enjoyed themselves, and they're giving their team the round of applause and reception that they thoroughly deserve. Listen, it was a threadbare Rangers in the end. The changes that they had to make, the 3-4 enforced changes, the youngsters that came on, they came here tonight and they've given a really good account of themselves. They defended well at times, they attacked when given the opportunity. Unfortunate to go 1-0 behind with that Jack Butland own goal, but they didn't give up, they kept going, and they threw everything at Manchester United. And at one point it really did look like they were going to get the most unlikeliest of points. A lot of credit tonight going back up to Scotland.
So many misses in that second half at Wunderlich from Manchester United. Maguire and Garnacho and Ahmad, did they get out of jail there?
I think they did, yeah. But listen, I think they dominated possession. You look at all the stats, you look at possession stats, you look at final third entries, you look at XG. If you haven't seen the game, you just think that Manchester United have completely dominated and should have scored more goals. But actually, it wasn't a great performance by Manchester United, but at risk of repeating myself, it's all about results for them at the moment, and that's what the manager will tell you.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, René, isn't it? And I know you made it as well, because ultimately, if this was a Premier League game, we would be reviewing this performance and we would be reviewing it pretty negatively from a Manchester United point of view. Ultimately, with a game to go, they've got a big win. It's all in their hands going into a very difficult final game in Bucharest. So they haven't been good. They haven't been good at all, but they needed these 3 points.
No, absolutely. And again, that puts a little bit more confidence back in them. I do think they haven't really touched it too much, but the first goal that got disallowed from De Ligt, if you see nowadays the manhandling that's taking place in the box, now at times, and I thought it was a bit soft. Obviously, he did obstruct proper to get De Ligt to the goal, so otherwise they would have been 1-0 up, and again maybe different. But like I said, it's just that when they go 1-0 up, also against Rangers today, I think they're a little bit slow in possession, a bit lacklustre, and they don't take the chances when they fall for them. And tonight, luckily, they got away with it.
Full time at Wrexham in League One, Sarah Mulkerrins.
It's ended Wrexham 1, Birmingham City 1. Ollie Rathbone opened the scoring for the hosts 9 minutes in. A brilliant finish from 20 yards out. Birmingham, though, they were soon level from a corner. Lyndon Dykes free at the far post. He headed in. The second half, it was feisty, it was enthralling. They were both pushing for a winner. Wrexham had more of the chances. Allsop made some fine saves in between the sticks. Somehow the ball stayed out of the net after a goal-mouth scramble from a Wrexham corner. Ben Davies, he had some real key blocks in defence for the Blues as the hosts were piling on the pressure, but they couldn't find a way through, and it has ended Wrexham 1, Birmingham City 1.
Thank you very much, Sarah. So here at Old Trafford, Manchester United 2, Rangers 1. United in 4th place in the league table, 15 points. They are 2 ahead of Galatasaray in 9th, so that tells you basically, bar a string of absolutely remarkable results, a point in Bucharest will absolutely do it.